been bringing my guild over to help with that so that we
Thank you.
the Imperial numbers. But like it's probably been pointed out, whenever we do that, then we just destroy the int or the pubs, and so we need to split the teams up. But in order to do that, we need more pilots.
Yeah, we've
Exactly.
consistently been having 3 to 4 full teams of Republic pilots these past 2 weeks. So
Yeah, I've noticed you flying a lot. You've got a GSF wing going?
nope. But there's about 4 guys in my guild that have started to do it pretty frequently, so it might be in the works here soon.
Right on. Yeah, we had two full groups earlier today, plus another one forming. And then we went ahead and split, so we had a little bit on both sides. But
And it's not just attracting, more Imperial pilots, which is a huge part of it. It's attracting more people to GSF that are not normally GSF players. Got to make GSF such a fun experience, such a fun and positive experience.
That's true.
People that have
I did.
that say, I don't want to play. Oh, I gave up GSF long ago. They give it another shot. Or the people who have never played GSF said, I'll try it.
What? Yeah, because there was 1 week. I think it was the Conquest was the GSF one, and I had a bunch of guildies that never did it one GSF, and after like after a few hours of playing it, they were like, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought it was.
And anybody that's, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was done.
And anybody that has questions on builds or whatnot, I've got pilots that can fit any type of ship that you're looking to work on. So we're always open for you jumping onto our TeamSpeak channel and asking questions, or jumping on and flying with us. Gabriel and his boys and ladies always come over and fly with us, and it's a blast.
Yeah, I mean, in the past it may have been about competition. Right now, it's about server and GSF game survival. We had to band together for the survival of our game because it's dying, and we've got to do whatever we can to make it vibrant again.
I have seen it increased in people since the Yavin Stronghold.
Yeah, thankfully we're getting in our guild. We've actually had a few people who were long time gone, or just for whatever reason, they've all started coming back. So we've got
user was moved out of user
it's
left
really
channel.
coming back to life for our guild. And I'm actually getting a few of my members interested in doing GSF. So we're going to hopefully be able to join you guys for a night with some newbies, and be gentle.
User joined your channel.
Yeah, just let us know, and
Cool.
we'll do what we can. You'll find those matches where they're extremely one-sided. You'll actually see my ship sit in the middle of the map doing absolutely nothing, because I don't want to be part of those big lopsided matches. So I much prefer to get everything even. If I have to teach you guys a couple of tricks, I'm all for it.
Okay, very cool. And if you can log into game and you've got questions about GSF and you're just not finding a Warbird or a Shadow Squadron person to help you, check out our websites, because Jedi Council's got a ton of information on their website. We've got a ton of information on our website. So if you've got questions about builds or tactics, there's a lot of info on both of our websites that can tide you over until we can actually answer your specifics. Very nice.
Yeah, it's a good place to just kind of get a beginning basic on it, is that Stacy Starfighter. Of course, you can tweak things and make things your own. Like, I have nothing compared to what they have listed there, but it does me pretty good.
Stacy Starfighter is a good start point, and I have every article copied on Warbird Squadron website.
Cool.
Yeah, we did the same.
If I can interrupt for a moment, if there are any Imperials that are not in the Ops group that are in the TeamSpeak, please give me your name or type it out in /say.
User joined your channel.
I think that's everyone then.
User disconnected from your channel. User joined your channel.
There we go.
Be right back when we get something to drink. Anybody want anything while I'm up?
Grapes.
I would like a cheesecake, please.
Grapes.
I want grapes.
Grapes.
Throw me those grapes. I took them away.
Couple
Fucking
bags of
throw them
grapes
at
would be
you.
great. Oh, holy shit, that's loud in my ear.
User disconnected from your channel.
I'm liking the Darth Antidu helmet, Venet.
User disconnected from your channel. User joined your channel.
of it.
Welcome back, Gio. Ooh. Hey, I got one of
User in
those.
your channel started recording.
That's looking like a much better group now.
We have a circle around a circle. Maybe we should just make this a huge circle.
Wait, what do you mean there's a circle around a circle?
Well, there's
What's
more
that?
of a crescent around a
Holy
circle.
crap.
Yeah, a lot of people showed up.
So we have
Alright,
an
let's,
inner circle and an
let's
outer
back it up.
circle.
Well, I can't back up anymore or I'll be on the bench.
Well then.
I just say your side just goes more that way.
All the imps are shining green right now.
If you guys have chairs, you guys should join it. Circle of chairs.
Sitting on my throne.
Yes, I very much prefer my throne.
I hope you
Yeah,
got your
yeah,
grapes.
interesting.
Because I'm putting it away now. Was that you,
User
Des?
in your channel
that
is
just did that?
recording.
Maybe.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to cut you in half. Oh,
Hello,
yeah.
everyone.
Hello.
User in your channel is recording.
All right. Let's
Interesting
see
summit.
here. We're 30 minutes in. Let's give Des the floor.
Okay, first thing, just so we can get everything straight, we have a format. If you look at everybody else's names on the TeamSpeak, please conform to that format.
Okay.
Huh?
It should say Republic or Imperial, then your name, then your guild.
I'll have to be right back.
User disconnected from your channel. User in your channel started recording.
Somebody get
Do
John.
we have everybody from all the guilds ready?
Looks like we have someone in general
Yeah,
asking for us.
John.
Everyone in the Republic
User in your channel is
group
recording.
has LT, so you can bring them in.
I grabbed John.
Got 5 more minutes. Bombing the computer. Well, yeah, then you have to go. Or
I'm just waiting for my wife to get logged in, so she's gonna be taking the notes for our side.
set up.
Starting in 5.
Don't scrunch that all up.
We're also all on instance 2. If you're not on there, please go there.
It's fine now.
So I guess on the timing today, we had a lot of miscommunication or misunderstandings about what the time it was to start.
Well, I remember you saying something about 9 at the end of the pub one, but I don't think we said anything about that at the imp one. So the imps probably still think it's at 11.
Yeah, it was never mentioned.
Because I'm sure most people don't. Like, I haven't really gone to look at the posted times on the sites because I already thought I knew where they were and when they were. I'm sure most people did the same.
This circle is totally not all inclusive.
Just let it be.
I'm trying to get this
Yeah.
to expand.
If we
but
face
you
the
guys are-
outside with the inner circle, it'll be all inclusive.
Right, there we go.
Oh god, I moved by accident. Whoa.
It's even a circle.
I don't know anymore what the hell this is.
It's like a big letter D.
Like, oh, I'm gonna sit right here. Looks comfy. I'm good.
I really hope we get more people here. I had more than this just at my guild meeting today.
I am the center. I am the center of this universe.
Get out of the middle. Just get out.
User in your channel is recording.
Oh, I gotta move. How you guys are?
Wow, we're 3 less than what we had for Republic guilds showing up in total in this channel right now in people.
I know.
What?
I'll go here.
I thought we had 56.
Yeah,
Equal,
we
not
actually had
guilds.
Or
we had
62.
like 35, 36 guilds, but we had 62 people.
User in
Republic
your
side.
channel is recording.
Okay, there we go.
We still had more than the imps. What?
I heard that we had some devs in attending our last meeting.
Really?
Wait, so what?
The Imperial one or the RP one?
It's a possibility. Who knows?
I just heard a rumor.
I mean,
about the-
attending how? As a GM or
as a player?
All I'm saying is I heard a rumor. I read a rumor I read the bathroom walls here on hell, I write half the shit on the bathroom walls here on Narsha.
Nice.
Right. I thought I saw your number.
I'm opening
It
up.
said call for a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Chill, sit down.
I don't know if I have you set up on Teams.
Two.
They're clearing out for you.
It's a heart shape. Point that out.
Trading chairs, are you?
By the way, interesting place for a summit.
That's why we said boss.
User in your channel is recording.
Well, it was going to be in a bathroom, but somebody wrote all over the walls.
Sorry.
At least the bathroom has toilets you can sit on.
Did I just see Zaximus?
Oh, this is true.
Dax
Those
has
little-
been logging in and out the whole
Little
time.
blow dryer things.
Right.
And those big lovely mints that they put in all the urinals.
What, those blue breath mints?
Yeah, those are delicious.
What about the mints on the? What about the chocolate in your pillow in the hotel?
That ain't chocolate.
User in your channel is recording.
There we go.
Sorry. Faye.
Okay, she's in here. I guess we'll get started. Well. First off, I'm Des Resvis and Decel Revis, an Impside. Be your moderator again. And today is about finalizing our previous solutions and implementing them. And after, we'll talk about some new ones. There'll be chances for everyone to...
User in your channel timed out.
There'll be time for everyone to comment
User in your
in between
channel is
each
recording.
section. I'm going to go over what we have down, and we're going to either yes or no. If there's a no, we got to figure out a solution for that instead of just leaving it blank. It'll be a little bit more of a free form. If we have questions about a certain topic, go ahead and raise your hand. We'll try and keep them in order. I'll have my note taker taking care of that. Guess we'll get started. We're all here to be a coalition. A coalition of guilds to better the server. If anyone has grudges or animosity or infighting, it's time to stop those and come together for a server to help everyone have a chance to have fun. First up, we've got the in-game channels. I'm going to post them in TeamSpeak. Everyone look over those.
Sorry, what are we looking for?
The suggested channels will be showing up in chat in a second.
Oh.
Pushes up glasses, ready to take notes.
Oh, there we go. These are the ones we've basically decided on. There was a question about the Imperial Ops channel and the Republic one. The fact that they're not the same. That could cause some communication issues. We could talk
User
about
in
that
your
right
channel
now.
is recording.
Obviously, a lot of people don't agree because there are very much established raid channels on both Imp and Pub side that are widely used. I know when I mentioned that for Imp side, the summit was proposing we start BCO going. You know, I joined BCO. I've done a few raids with BCO. However, it didn't go over well with the rest of the guild. They have trouble accepting the change. I know I'm going to be making that priority to try to get everything into one channel. However, it would be good to have all-around consistency for the decision we do have.
Had power glitch. I haven't done anything to your computer. Fine, it's going.
Hey, Ham, you're on voice activated.
I know.
Okay, so there's going to be change going around the whole server altogether. One of the biggest changes is we're trying to implement a hub website for everyone to go to for communication needs.
Pub as in Republic, or pub as in public, as in imp and repub?
Hub as in
Hub as in Hubble.
Hub. Thank you. Sorry, I couldn't quite hear the word. My apologies.
No worries. So in the spirit of that, do you think we would be able to make that channel the same for both sides, or keep with what we got right here?
Well, this would be a website dedicated to the server itself, correct?
Oh, right. Okay, so we've got the server website that's dedicated for everything server, but I'm talking about the chat channels. Since there's a lot of changes coming up anyway, why not take them all in one swoop for all the changes that we're doing?
Oh, you mean like
So the Imp and Republic ops channels that we're talking about.
I think.
Well, there is one that I was recommended to join when I was looking for ops to do, and that was, I think it was called Rating Help.
That one's since dead, since the guild that was running it left the server. Aaron, you had a question?
Yeah. So if we were to change the ops channels that are publicly recognized as it stands, I feel like it's going to be really hard to get the general population, because while we have 30, 40 guilds here, that's far from the total population. It's going to take a while to get people assimilated to using those new ones. But I agree, it would be a good idea. It would just be hard.
Second that.
Well, I'd say it would be hard in the sense that it would take a while to get everybody acclimated.
Well, there's going to be a lot of acclimation changes anyway.
I would recommend that if we do have a universal change, that we have people frequently posting in commonly used raids channels, saying, this is what most of the GMs decided on, we're going to go to a universal channel, we recommend you C, leave the current channel, and C, join this new channel.
I agree with that.
To help with implementation.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I mean, I do a lot of raiding during the week, 3-4 times TOS, and if people who are putting together these groups are communicating that there are these centralized channels so that people who want to raid can get into pub groups, I think it will disseminate that data a lot faster, because there is a distinct lack of raiding people since the Big Leave to Harbinger and Shadowlands.
True, very true.
And I'm struggling to put together raids. I'm struggling to put them together.
I actually agree with that idea, because I actually would love to raid quite more often, but like you said, a lot of the raiding people went over to Harbinger, so not a lot of people are available who want to or even can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I do hard mode raiding as well, and we used to be able to do 1 or 2 hard modes a week. Now it's a struggle to find enough players with the gear to even introduce to hard mode TOS. I mean, we've pushed to commanders with my raid group, and we've almost got them down, but
what is the recommended gear rating for that?
192 set piece with 6 pieces and augments.
I think we're starting to get a bit off topic.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that if you can broadcast and communicate that to people who want to be included, I think it'll disseminate our message a lot quicker.
I agree with that.
I would like to propose the Republic ops channel, the cjoin/crate, as the one that's universal, because it's a universal name for one. It doesn't denote any faction base, and the people that are running it are ops based and respect based.
Second.
I can agree with that.
I agree.
All right.
Agreed.
Is there anyone that disagrees with that?
I would just put a concern out there. At the Imperial Summit, we did feel strongly that forming a channel was necessary. I thought it was a mistake to go ahead and form one at the Imperial alone because I knew we'd want to be combining with Pubside, and everyone over there tended to agree, but the channel was already created, BCO, standing for Bergeren Colony Ops, and so I just wanted to throw that name in there as an already accepted universal channel.
Anyone want to go with that one?
Isn't BCO dead?
BCO is just beginning.
I agree with BCO. It was the best one we had.
Alright, so I guess this would be the time where we get votes in here. Everyone, if you could go to the Guild Summit tab of TS and type either BC Ops or Crate. Those votes will be tallied up and we'll make a decision.
That'd be BC Ops, but we could straw poll if we need to, by the way. It's easier.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, you never heard of straw poll?
Well, I've
Yeah.
heard of that, but I don't know how to do that in TS.
Here, I'll show you. I'll get it up for you.
My note taker is currently counting the votes, and we'll move on from there.
Who does, if you want the link.
Huh!
That's useful.
That's interesting.
What?
Be right back.
The link Crimson sent us. I changed my vote to abstain. I've never done ops before.
Yeah, that's a lot of mix. There we go.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Yes.
Again.
So, I know I came in a bit later, but did I miss anything?
No.
We voted you off the island.
Oh.
You have to clean out the air vents.
Airlock duty.
Poor guy.
You have to clean up the after party.
Oh.
And a bunch of them had Rancors out, so there's Rancor piles everywhere.
Yeah.
If everybody that's going to vote could click on the link that I threw, We've only got
12.
12 people voted.
So we have to click on the link?
You have to hit to click on it to vote. It's a little easier.
I don't see abstain on there.
Then don't vote.
Okay.
There you go. Sorry, I should have put that in there.
That's pretty cool.
That is really cool. That's a very nice tool. Thank you.
No problem.
Where'd you get this from?
You said you had a nice tool.
That's just something I knew about. Don't worry. Straw poll.
Is that everybody that's going to vote?
Yeah. And the winner is.
Crate.
By one vote.
By 4%.
Here, I'll change it up right here. So we're keeping crate, so / join.
I'm typing this out too, but if the Imperials could contact me with known raids channels, so that I can help by frequently posting in those channels to see leave the current channel if they prefer, and to definitely see join crate.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just updated. Yeah. Ops channel.
Okay. So that's the channels debate we have. See, we're already accomplishing things.
Yay.
Chalk that up for the good guys.
No, I really like that we have a lot of people voting, and it's very close.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're some kind of Congress.
It is kind of a Senate in a way.
Only maybe we would actually be able to get shit done.
Right. All right. So the next part. All of you, since you're part of this movement forward for the server, I ask that you join begerencolony.org. It will be having some upgrades. We're going the current timeline. Just talked with the guy last night. We're looking at by the 1st, it should be up.
Note on that. The site is already up, so feel free to join it now. We're just making changes that should be up by the 1st.
Can we ally like we can with the shifter pages?
I don't know. But this is an actual website. It's a from the ground up website.
Who runs begerencolony.org?
Illyrit on pub side. I mean, Imperial side.
Yeah, it's been around for a number of years, since the game has been around, I believe. But we're turning it into something for the entire server, with tools for that. Go ahead, Aaron.
Did you want me to explain a little
User in your
bit,
channel
or
is
just
recording.
wait till later to talk about that stuff?
Actually, that would be a perfect time right now to talk about it.
All right. So bc.org is currently a large hub for the role-playing community. We have been offered an opportunity to give it a facelift and an upgrade to service the entire community as a whole of the Bergeren colony. So I'm one of the members currently working on the team of giving it a facelift and changing it to supply the tools and information that we need to run a smooth server and make it really something that's cohesive, easy to work with,
timed out.
and something that people want to use. As far as the guild stuff goes, I think that was Chinasu that brought that up. There is currently a feature called GuildNet where you can add your guild's information and members and whatnot. We are working on more tools to make that a better place to work events and communicate across guilds. If there is anybody that is interested in more information on that, like I said, you can contact me or yeah, go ahead and contact me. I can bring you to the people that know about it, or just go ahead and join the join the website, check it out on your own. It is going to be seeing a major facelift in the next month or so, though.
And we're looking actually about a week from the timeline he told me, but that's tentative. Do you have any questions on the website? Okay. Let's see. Actually, another aspect that we'll be bringing to that website is a calendar for each aspect of the game. RP is already there. PvE, PvP, and GSF will each have channels that you will be able to filter through on that calendar. So that'll be one of our major tools. We'll be referring back to that with a lot of the solutions. Was someone about to talk? Okay, the next part, this was a really hot topic for the last few summits. Code of conduct. This really covers a lot of aspects of the game. Talking about PvE and PvP mostly. GSF is definitely part of that. And RP, that's general given. What we came up with was if you, for instance, are in a PvP match, there's somebody who's not doing what they're doing, not doing what they should be doing, you need to be teaching them.
Teaching as in what? How to fight? What to do?
Teach them what to do, teach them how to fight. The basic part of that was to make sure that everyone is treated with respect, and the bashing of people is brought down to a minimum, because that takes away from people wanting to join in on that activity.
I think the general idea is to be helpful instead of being elitist.
Yes.
Exactly.
We have a raised hand. Gil?
So, I'm Gil. I'm from the Origin. So, with PvP, there's always that line of, people who are brand new to it and people who are, veterans. Like myself, been around the game for a while. I PvP'd a lot, so I know what I'm doing. But as of the last couple games I've joined, I've had to tell people, what the objectives are, what we're supposed to do. And I've seen people literally just sit there for the whole game and bash everybody. That's what we're trying to get at, is that I understand you get good at PvP, but you're never so good that you need to sit there and beat on someone who may be new to the game, who after this match will never PvP again because of how they were treated. So,
okay.
Treating people like humans, essentially. Or aliens.
The basic respect issue is what... the basic respect issue is what we're getting at. Can we get everybody to agree to try and disseminate this throughout ops and PvP? Just be respectful for people.
What?
Try not to bash. Right.
Oh, cool.
Try not to bash people and such.
This is a giant.
Well, we're getting a lot of 60s to the 12 times and all that, so it's a lot of teaching.
This is there's a whole bunch of people apparently on the server, like the giant guilds.
Mic
all,
check.
Like left. So this is like pretty much all of the GMs or like guild leaders, and Zai let me come as like his +1 guy, and so
we have a raised hand. Aaron?
User in your
So
channel is recording.
I agree, first off. Second of all, what do people think we should do about people that aren't in a guild that we can't, like, talked to about that kind of stuff. Like if they're your guild member and you see them doing it, or you get a report of them doing it, obviously you can try to do something. There's a lot of people just publicly that might not be trolls, but do act with aggressiveness or anger towards certain actions.
I would tell them that anger leads to hate, and hate suffering.
Well, if they're a Sith, they would take a compliment to that.
Yeah, it's
one of the things that was brought up in the Imperial meeting was a blacklist forum that you could put continuous problematic players, or say GMs that are leading a problematic activities onto. There's a few rules alongside that, but we had Crimsonus had a raised hand.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I agree with the code of conduct that we've been talking about the past two summits. So basically, what I want to add in here is that, let's just say, actually today when I was in some mid-level PvP, there were people that weren't listening to calls, and yeah, we always have to not enforce, but like at least try to mention what they have to do. I mentioned to them, like, when you reach level 60 PvP, you will have a lot of haters if you don't respect the calls or whatever else that you're not doing. So that's why today I've actually just decided to promote the Warzone channel, and I'm pretty sure it's the same thing for GSF, that I know GSF for public side has been getting a lot more active. You guys have been talking about 3-cap a lot, and it's actually been getting better, in my opinion. I'm not sure if you guys agree with me, but GSF 3-capping has been getting better. Warzone, it's going to take a bit more time to teach people. But I think we should at least get into mid-level PvP and start teaching them then, before they get into level 60 PvP. That's basically it right now.
We have raised hand, Zygo.
Hello, I am Zygal, Knights of Peace GM. I'm sure many of you know me. If not, now you do. I would just like to suggest for PvP, going along with this whole code of conduct, if you're a larger guild and you can afford to run pre-mades, that's cool and all. I like to do it. But something that really frustrates me and a lot of other players, and I'm a veteran PvPer, so I'm sure it's frustrating for new guys. Don't sit there and farm war zones for 6 hours straight with your pre-made. It's cool to do a couple, stomp some people, but no one enjoys not being able to queue up for an entire day because one guild is just dominating war zones with a pre-made. That's just my 2 cents.
I actually agree with that.
I agree with that too.
I very much agree.
I can tell with personal experience, it is very unenjoyable that you have the weeklies up or whatever, and you can't get any of it done because it's impossible to do.
I would propose a different solution. Instead of dominating your just regular war zones, if you win, say, 3 to 5 matches in a row, take it to ranked, to the people who can take it, to people who can get used to it, and where you can get better rewards from having better competition.
Your channel is
it's no fun if you win every single game. It's no fun for the other side if they lose every single game. There's got to be some mix up in there, and honestly, it's a whole lot more fun when the competition's better.
I agree, actually. In fact, when I just started playing, I was disillusioned with PvP because I lost constantly.
Well, we all lose constantly when we first start PvP, but I see what you're saying.
Alright, so we seem to be mostly in an agreement for like a code of conduct.
May I make a proposal?
User disconnected from your channel.
I think for a code of conduct to be effective, it needs to be in writing. and it needs to be signed, so to speak, by all the GLs who will agree to it. That way, it's something that is binding. It is in writing. Spoken word is fleeting. Written word is permanent. And it's something that we can take to our guilds and say, this is the code of conduct that we agreed upon, that I signed as policy for our guild, and that everybody in our guild is expected to abide by it.
Perfect.
I have a response to that,
Go ahead.
if I
I
may.
agree.
Yes, that's important, but there's some times where you might have a guildie and a GM who are very close. They don't agree on everything, but the guildie is a trouble player sometimes. He gets angry or something, right? If someone comes to the GM say, hey, your guildie was doing such and such, well, the guildie has to choose between keeping their honor or having fun with their friend. I guess the point I'm trying to get to is a written agreement is a recipe for drama. Stuff's going to happen, friendships are going to be broken, and less people are going to play the game when it doesn't work out. Not if, but when. I see that being an issue, not a solution.
Allow me to rebut. If a friendship is so fragile that something like this could break it, then I would propose that it was never very strong in the first place. Second thing I would like to say is that if an agreement has no teeth, then it's worthless. If I know for a fact that if I sign some kind of code of conduct or rules of engagement, and I bring it to my guild and I say these are the rules that I agree to abide by on behalf of Warbird Squadron, my guild would follow it. Now my people are completely free to voice their objections, and I will listen to their objections. But in the end, I have the final say. And my guild abides by that.
A strong part of competition is having diversity, and if you don't have people with differences of opinion, you're going to have everyone who agrees on everything. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to play a game where everyone agrees on everything. Without conflicts, where's the fun? We're here to have fun. Now, I understand the point you're trying to make. We don't want some serious issues coming up, and we want all the guilds to be on board. I understand the idea of guilds being on board, but they need to have the freedom to make their own choice on how they want to go apart it. I personally would not want to sign this agreement, and I feel like in being left out of that it would put a name on my guild that we are, we're defiant. But no, I just want to give our guys the freedom to play how they need to play. Now, obviously, I don't want any of my guys to be problem players. No, I want our guys to have fun. I want your guys to have fun. And that's my rule number one for everyone in my guild is have fun. If you're doing something where you're causing someone else to not have fun, well, that's an issue. You're trolling or you're hurting them. That's a bad thing. But a binding agreement between all guilds, I don't see that being a recipe for success.
It only binds to the guilds that agree to sign to them. And one thing and this is the last rebuttal I have, allow me to put this forth to you. In sports, you may not agree with all the rules, but if you're going to play, you abide by those rules. If you don't, there are penalties. You may want to run the bases third, second, first, then home, but the rules say it's the other way around. There's nothing stopping you. You certainly can run the bases in the wrong order, but there's going to be consequences to that. Again, you may not agree with the rules of a sport, but you're there to play.
All right, we got a raised hand from Zygo.
Okay, I just want to interject there. I totally agree that we need to have a code of conduct. However, I also disagree with the written agreement based on the fact that, number one, there's no real way to enforce it. I can say I sign the agreement all I want, but if I start trolling in PvP, there's really not much you can do other than, oh, hey, we don't like that guild. Well, cool, because my guild's a large guild, so I don't necessarily need other guilds. And I'm not like that. I'm just saying you're going to have...
User in your channel is recording.
Really no real power to enforce that written agreement. And no one...
Or you can enforce it within your own guild. That's what
correct.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, number one, not everyone's in a guild, and number two, if if my guild starts trolling and you guys come to me and are like, hey, this person's trolling, I'm not going to kick someone from my guild or punish someone just off the word of someone else. And I don't think many normal people would. The point I'm trying to make here is there's no real enforcement to this. You can say, Zygal, you sign the agreement all you want, but there's not actually anything you could do if I decided, which I wouldn't do that, but if I did decide, well, I don't feel like following the agreement.
Oh, it's
You know what I'm saying?
It's the honor system. It's your personal honor. However you choose to value that.
We got Talon had a raised hand.
A couple of things that I see with this is that if you were to put this together, first of all, your guild isn't here to comment or see what's being signed you're taking on, and they may disagree with it completely. One of those points. It's not our job to police. It's our job to keep a friendly environment, keep our guild fun. It's the devs and the moderators that's their job to police the game.
Timed out.
So if you start doing that and you start, well, this is what I agreed on, but the guild goes, well, none of us agreed on it, so we're just gonna leave. Goes some other guild that didn't agree upon this. You're only going to hurt the guild in general. But if you take the time, you put down, okay, this is basically we're all agreeing, just let's chill on the trolling, let's chill on those things, and we agree upon that to do our best. My guild, I know right now, will say, okay, we agree with that. Now, there are a few people in my guild I know who do it in PvP that I'm going to have to sit them down, talk to them, so to speak, and say, hey, we got to cut this out, we got to make this fun. They're going to have a hard time just because it's by nature. But the fact is it's not something that we can enforce, nor should we as guild leaders upon it. However, I do think that we can try to change the attitudes that are our base and are based by our example.
Alright, I think Shinisu was the next hand.
I just feel it's going to be a hard thing to do to enforce a written contract. I think it should be left to the GMs and their groups as a whole to enforce that amongst themselves. We can't actually tell another guild what to do with their stuff. That's got to be more of a local thing, I feel.
Right.
We got Daimo as the next race hand. Phantom Legion.
People, what you will do if that guildmaster don't give a fuck about it?
Shredder, raise a hand, please.
I'd actually like to answer that if I could, if I may.
Well, we got a raised hand that's typing their response.
Yeah, let's stick to the order, please.
Apologies.
User in your channel is recording. User in your channel is recording.
Basically, what they said is exactly what we were talking about. We weren't really talking about per se written agreement. It's more of a guideline and general agreement for positive attitudes, discouraging the negative behavior. And in our guilds, we do have an agreement that we must make not to be an ass, not to be a troll, and we want to know the members that are doing that, and so we can enforce that. Is that acceptable by people? It's not really a binding agreement. It's more of this is the guideline that we'd like to follow. Does that cancel out any raised hands?
This is Papich. I'd like to say something about that. As an overall solution.
I've got another person in front of you. Votage? Or vote. Speak to guild. Love, speak in TeamSpeak now.
It's Vote Naja from Imperial.
She's from Clan Cherashoy.
I was just going to give a possible solution for this. Just maybe have a written, not agreement, but just this is what we want you guys to do. We can say whether or not we did agree to that, and it's not something that we have to enforce or force people to do, but something we can comment on and say, yes, this is something we're going to enforce in our guilds, copy it, put it in our own forums, and go from there. It's not something we would have to enforce with people or be upset with when somebody disagrees with it, because we're not forcing people to do it. But something that is there and available for people to put in their own forums and be enforced within, in my opinion.
Aaron is next.
Thank you. Just quick reply to was it Shredder that made that little blurb? That's what we were talking about with the blacklist earlier. If there's someone that just will not obey, but will not support a friendly environment or a set of gameplay that everybody enjoys, if there's someone that is obviously not enforcing that within their guild and stuff, that's where it comes into the time where it's ready to start ignoring and blacklisting, because you don't want to be grouped with those people. The ignore function, I believe, I may be wrong, but I believe the game has it set up so that it will not throw you into queue pops with people on your ignore list.
No,
so
that's
if that
not correct.
Now, with
Okay.
that said, you want to be very sparing with who you ignore. If it's just a one-time occurrence, probably not. But a continuous thing that they're doing, probably a good idea. Who's the next raised hand?
Jojo. And sorry for skipping you. Alright, can someone read Jojo's text in the TS chat, please?
Jojo says, let's say we all sign this agreement. This would only affect us. What percentage are we of the server as a whole?
Vote. So we vote on it.
I have a comment on that. We all have to start somewhere, and if we start with this group, hopefully it'll spread to a larger groups and populate the entire server. But if we don't start somewhere, we'll never get it to start.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay.
We've got, let's see, Jojo. Alvis, did you speak?
Oh yes. Or so like let's say
We
we're
missed
talking about-
Popik.
Oh, I thought that was his turn.
No, I still have a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Papich from DS Cartel. I think we do need to have something written somewhere. Whether we sign it or not is actually irrelevant, but as long as we agree to it. And again, this goes back to we have to start somewhere. Whether we have 2 people that agree, whether we have 4 people that agree, or whether we have 50 guilds that agree, there's always that first step that we need to take. Now, I like the idea of the blacklist, but again, blacklist shouldn't be permanent, and they should be given the opportunity. Once they get blacklisted and they're not able to participate in any of this, we need a timeline to say, okay, this person has been blacklisted for 2 weeks, 2 months, what have you. Okay, let's take them off and give them an opportunity to show that they are now willing to play with the rules that we have set forth.
Cool.
Yeah, I agree that a ignore list shouldn't be a permanent thing. Sometimes people will get the message.
Yeah, and along with what he's talking about, like, what about the troll
User
lifer
disconnected
guilds?
from your channel.
Should we support ban threads somewhere, or how would we even keep that out of public eye? What kind of control would you have over begerencolony.org? Like, what about guilds and people who just they're exemplars of terrible behavior?
Oh, this is Papich again. In that case, we reban them. And again, we'll give them another opportunity, and we should agree that after 4 or 5 times that they've been put on a ban list, they're just permanently banned. I don't know what you guys might think about that.
Do through begerencolony.org though? I mean, where would you want to do that?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, I just get the feeling from being asked, with what objection I do see from people about joining a code of conduct agreement is that, they're worried about what kind of sanctions would I be agreeing us to, what kind of exclusionary measures. Like, would that be, in agreement to trying to keep a blacklist?
Well, for a blacklist, I think it should be individuals, and don't hold an entire guild responsible for the actions of a few bad apples. This kind of goes back to one of the earlier discussions on whether I'm a bigger guild. I don't need you guys.
User disconnected from your channel.
I think that would be unenforceable as trying to ban an entire guild from participating in ops or PvP or GSF or anything of that nature, but to get individuals to understand that there are consequences for their actions, and this is what it is. And until you're ready to join the fold, then you're not going to be able to participate.
But how can you ban them from GSF, PvP, and all of that? I'm not clear on how you.
The ignore list does that. If you have them on your ignore list, they don't pop with you.
Yes, they do.
Here's a proposal.
I've had people on ignore that end up on my team in GSF.
What about having a hidden forum available to anybody who wants to concern their guild with a blacklist on begerencolony.org, and if an officer of their guild or guild leader asks for access to it, then their account is individually given access to such a blacklist.
User in your channel is recording.
Like, that way you make it fully optional instead of something that everybody would feel like they're joining themselves into if you're agreeing to a certain, written posture of any code of conduct.
I can see this. I've got Shred has a raised hand after.
Oh, and I'm good. Yeah, I'm good on my concern after that.
Shred, did we get your raised hand or no?
No, I have to raise hand to answer to something else every time.
Sorry, say again, Shred.
To answer to anything, I have to raise a hand before.
I have you on the list. Did you have a comment to this discussion?
Look, guys, maybe a blacklist so you can make a wall of shame could work, but only those people care. Because as people is telling you, even if you ignore people, they will be with you on PvP and on GSF, especially in GSF, because there is a very small pool of players. So that's not enough, because you will still have to deal with those people. Even if you can see what they do, you will even help them to do what they want to do. If you want them to stop, you have to socially isolate them. If they are on PvP and everybody else agrees that that person is a dick, you have to let them to fend on their own. But that will mean people to sacrifice victories. Leave them alone to guard the door. For example, in Void Star, just leave them alone. If they are that great, they don't need you anyway, right? If we are on GSF and you see someone is insisting on triple cap, nobody must give that guy support. Let him go alone and do Rambo. Eventually they will get the message. Because it's the only way to have consequences in a game like this. We can't force people to do anything. We can't punish them. Social isolation is the only alternative you have.
That's a very good point.
User in your channel
Chinese,
timed
you're
out.
next.
Shred, Gabriel, several other GMs, and myself, we all have the same issue with one of our aspects, but even then, I don't think this is the proper way to go. Banning is not going to do anything but cause drama, especially if we make a formal list for it for them to try and shoot for, so to speak. I think this is a bad idea. I think just by ignoring them and not feeding into, and I'm as guilty as the next, there are certain people that seem to have the ability to get my blood running a little bit, but I have to, step forward and not let that get the better of me. And I think that is really the only way that we're going to stop this. Case in point, the one that we're dealing with, you yourself have not seen her take that action. And it's completely understandable because you see us attacking her now that we've gotten to that point with her. Again, it's going to be a point of view. I have a member that not very many people like due to his GSF skills. There's no way I'm going to take any, or I'm not going to discipline him because a couple of other people don't like how he flies, even if he is flying within my personal code of conduct.
Okay, so we'll probably take this as a consensus for blacklists are probably a negative idea.
I agree.
Should be taken off the table. Anyone disagree? Okay. Does that cancel out any of the raised hands?
Yep.
Nope.
Alright, then I have Talon next.
One of the things that I'm seeing, I'm totally in agreement with the concept of ignoring and, you know what, okay, we're just gonna let them be themselves, don't feed the trolls, that sort of thing. That's going to do more effective in a game like this where the social community is important. That's going to do more effectively to changing someone's attitude, or they'll just leave server and then there's someone else's problem.
Well, they can go to Harbinger, that's fine.
Exactly. So I agree with that, but keeping a list, a blacklist, is not going to really help. But one thing that is going to help is, like, we have this channel, The Gathering, being able to communicate and say, hey, just an alert, like, I won't, well, actually, yeah, I will say the name, you've probably seen him on there, Argusly, always is selling, high-end stuff, and he stole a huge amount of stuff from my guild. I mean, thankfully it was from our just everyday use section, so there wasn't a lot of really expensive stuff, but it was a couple of speeders, it was a couple other things that, and then tried to start selling them on the Gen Chat. This is just one example that, okay, that's behavior that is not acceptable, I think, by any of our standards. So being able to warn other guilds of, okay, this is impending danger if you invite this person, watch them carefully, maybe, necessarily don't, don't exclude them from your guild, but say, don't give them a lot of authority in the guild, that they could actually do that. But those types of things, as long as we are aware of the problems, then we can watch the situation and prevent our guildmates suffering, and even ourselves.
So basically, you're saying just keep the communication open with the other GMs, and let them take care of it.
Exactly. Let them.
Okay. User in your channel is recording.
Zygal, you got another raise hand? I think it was.
Mine was on the
Zygon,
topic
sorry.
of the. Oh shit.
Do we have a Zygon?
Okay, what about Bixbo?
Yes, I have 2 points. I mean, the first point was back when we were talking about the code of conduct.
Yes.
We could just probably draft one up, maybe post it on the Bergeren colony website and say, this is the general consensus. If you want, you can take it to your own guild website, post on there, or modify it, but just like a general statement, kind of. And then guilds can do what they want with that. I was going to talk about the blacklist idea, but since we kind of negated that and switched over to communication, what if we did on the website, if it was possible to create kind of like a private forum, but basically for all the GMs, kind of like the gathering chat, but on the website, so we can communicate there, any issues, to summit meeting, and stuff like that there.
I'm sure there's probably some sort of way we could do that, if not like a direct chat thing. I know on the site you can send messages to multiple people and have it go to all of them, and you can reply to all of them to keep everybody on the same page. So that's at least one avenue that we could go into that. Talk to the webmaster about that. After that, I had John.
Yeah, the thing is that basically there is a reason why naming and shaming is forbidden in the official forums and in most forums when it comes to games. It's very easy for things to get out of hand and for people to start naming and trying to blacklist people. In policies of the guild itself, but it's not something that should go beyond that. I mean, it's up to every guild to decide who they don't want to play with, but if they want to reach beyond that, it's very easy for things to get out of hand and just to start affecting probably innocent people. And this is definitely a call for things to get out of hand. I think anything that resembles a blacklist, a grey list of whatever should be thrown off the table.
Yeah, blacklist is taken off the table for that. I have Shinisu again, then Ham, and Gilgamesh.
I'll go ahead and pass mine.
Ham?
Okay, so 2 things. First, Fear
fear will keep them in line. Fear of this battle station, and it had to be said. You all know it. I had to say it.
God
Second
damn
of
it.
all,
Boo.
right.
Bravo.
Second of all, and kind of in that vein with how do you enforce that? Well, look at each guild's reputation. You know, how does everyone else see your guild? You know, what kind of image do you want them to see, and then convey that image to your members and say, hey, this is an image that we have promoted, that we have worked hard to establish. Help us keep it. And if you put it to them like that, they're more likely to go, yeah, you know, right, I was probably an ass and I'm sorry and I need to go apologize to somebody. Maybe they won't, but you know, that way you're not having to have a blacklist, which we've taken off the table. You're not having to do a lot of I mean, it does require communication between the different guilds as far as, hey, here was an issue, and it's up to the individual guild leader to investigate it. You know, do I have, because I've had people where I've had to kick out because there was several, not just one, but several complaints against them. And, you know, at that point, it's easier to go, well, look, there's this, and this evidence against you that you're not acting the way that the guild is supposed to be. This is not our reputation, not how we want to be seen.
All right. So basically, you're saying disseminate that throughout your guild, how you want your guild image to be. Will help this whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I have Gilgamesh, and that's the last of my raised hands, I think. And then we can move on to the next one. Topic, that is.
I actually had a raised hand quite a while ago. I think I was skipped.
Sorry, Zai, go ahead.
I just wanted to speak on the topic of the code of conduct. Just to clarify what I was saying earlier, I don't disagree that we should have a written code of conduct. I think it should be clearly written down, you know, and made obvious as to what's expected. I just was disagreeing with, you know, requiring GMs to sign it. I feel like that's going to cause more drama within the community. It's going to have people, well, you signed this, when really, you know, it's over a game. It's not legally binding. You're just going to have fights over it. So I just wanted to clarify what I was saying earlier.
I think that's what we were agreeing to begin with. So what will happen is we'll post up a guideline.
User in your channel is recording.
On the forums and on bc.org, and you guys can all look at it. If you want to tweak something, let me know, and we'll change something around, and we'll go from there. Sound good?
Yep.
Agreed.
Sounds good for me.
Great.
And we have
Akosis?
Akosis raise hands.
Perhaps this was already said and I just missed it, but with guidelines for the guilds, perhaps something that you could do is like provide the base, like a base guideline, and then if guild masters want to, they can accept these terms. They don't have to; they're not forced; just optional, and then they can build on it with their personal guild from the baselines.
So you're talking about like a personal code of conduct in a way?
Well, it starts off with the same base, but every guild can just make it their own, where they can add something for their guild personally.
Pretty sure that's how it works with most guilds now, but it isn't. I still don't have the same base guidelines. But it could work.
Okay. Do we have any other raised hands, love?
No, we do not.
Okay.
Someone raise your hand just to be funny.
Okay, so this is another thing we talked about a lot. Guilds and branching out into the community for teaching RP, Ops, PvP, GSF. I know we have the Jedi Council and the Warbirds out there teaching GSF now. Sorry for taking up your class time, guys. Are there any guilds that are up for teaching RP, Ops, or PvP? Get that out.
For teach and role play.
Knights of Peace is also willing to teach all of those, and we have in the past.
Legion of the Jedi will help with the RP or even the GSF.
Can you go slower? I got Knights of Peace. And
Okay.
what are you doing?
The best way to put this, clear the summit chat. If you are a guild that is going to be up
Hey,
for
wake
teaching PvP, RP, GSF, Ops, whatever, say whichever one you want to work with. Since your guilds are already attached to your names.
Oh, GSF.
Sorry, I guess I could throw in there.
So that is going to be
User
become a
in your
list
channel is recording.
that we're going to post, and
User
Just-
disconnected from your channel.
Just to clarify, for Knights of Peace, that includes our other 3 guilds as well.
holy crap, dude!
Mic check. Ow.
Ow.
Someone has open speakers.
Cabin. Yeah.
I'll just type it.
Good. Yeah. It's fixed. We're good.
All right. I was just saying to clarify, the classes that Knights of Peace will be offering will also be for our other 3 guilds as well. Our entire community will be teaching. So Impside can have lessons as well.
Can I say something in here too?
Go ahead.
You can also advertise, like, if you're gonna have like a PvP, like say you're having a PvP class, share it with other guilds, make it open, and that's
User
basically
left your channel.
all you can do. And I'm pretty sure you guys said on the website we're gonna have a calendar or multiple
We will
calendars.
we'll have a calendar that'll have different aspects. It won't be up and running until the 1st. So in the meantime, I would suggest using the forums, which is what Warbirds and Council are using for their GSF stuff.
Seems good.
You have to be very careful about doing that, though. We have been warned a couple of times by the devs not to recruit cross server. So make sure that you post it for that server, or use other methods such as Facebook is a way that I've started doing it.
Or another method, if you want to get cross server, is if you know someone in that server who can post in that forum, that could work as well.
That will not work. You're still
Yeah.
posting for an event in the BC server.
Yeah, not gonna work.
Why don't they allow that? I don't understand what the issue is.
Because you're going to drain the members from one server
Only they can do that.
to another.
Has there been harb
Right.
recruitment though? I saw like harb recruitment forums.
Yeah, there was some other stuffs. Other servers come into ours trying to take people, but that's neither here or there. Okay, so we've got the list of people that are going to do that. That covers the whole branching out. To that point, bigger issue is going to have finding groups willing to be patient with a lot of people that just want to get their dailies done. That was raised by Rose Corp. Yeah, that's where we need to show leadership. With these like ops classes and other things. Also, going out into the community and saying, hey, let's form an op together. Just a pug group, and you be a teacher for that kind of thing, or do a PvP thing. Flashpoints, hard mode flashpoints. Advertise that you're willing to teach. That will probably help with the community. I'm trying to catch up with all this text.
User disconnected from your channel.
Yeah, I've seen those same posts with people wanting to form a group, and they're like, "Oh, you have to have this this achievement or whatever to go through this this op," and they don't have it themselves. Okay, do we want to continue talking about branching out? Go to the next spot.
Next.
Okay. We also talked about making a directory for Mumbles, TeamSpeaks, and Ventrilo servers to get groups for ops, flashpoints, PvP, respectively. Do we want to make a directory for that?
I'm down.
I feel like
Make
there
a
should be some
directory
discretion.
Make a directory for what?
TeamSpeaks and Mumble servers.
I agree, because jumping over to someone's TeamSpeak and sitting down talking to them is a lot. I think would work out quite well. It would.
I got.
Personally. Yeah.
I got Popik has a raised hand.
There was in the Imperial, it's Papich anyway, but
sorry,
in the Imperial Guild Summit, there was some talk about having a BG TeamSpeak. I know you can get a free TeamSpeak server if you register it as a .org, and I believe that's up to 512 users. Has anybody looked into that?
I thought we disagreed with it though, being it too much work or something.
It was the issue of payment.
Payment was definitely
what
the
we
issue.
Disagreed on was the fact that certain people will pay for it, but as a .org, there is no annual payments. There's no monthly payments. There is no payments except maybe to host it. But for as an example, I host my guild's TeamSpeak, and it costs absolutely nothing. If we can get people out there that has a spare computer to run it on and available bandwidth, maybe we can restrict, to a certain number of people for certain GSF or PvP or ops or something along those lines.
Wait a minute.
Then where we went into on that one was okay. So if the payment is gotten rid of, you still have one person in control.
What about cheating as well? Like, say you're doing a Warzone, and it's Republic versus Imp, and what we're saying right now, it's a shared TeamSpeak, right? So what if that Republic player joined the Imp's TeamSpeak and was listening on their game?
Well, obviously there would be moderators needed, perhaps team leaders or guild leaders, depending on who in the guild individually does PvP. And so you would have a channel moderator that was only Imp side, be the moderator for the Imp side channel, and likewise for the pub side. And so you could take care of any unwanted visitors that way.
And also for the chat banning about the password, it'd be pretty hard just to spread the password around. It wouldn't really work.
Trugus had a raised hand. Trogus? Paragons? Trogus?
He said that was in regards. He's typing. Or had to type.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Said yes, the guild list. I welcome the idea, but can see how others wouldn't. That's what he's typing. Can't see it.
Pretty sure that's the original idea.
Who's the next one left? Raised hand. I want to say it's Shy.
No. Did Talon get a word in?
Yes.
Alright, then it's Vote Naga.
No, Talon does need to go. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
One of the things that with the TS server, that just to address that, and then there's actually another point I want to just make, but you have to have a website that actually has a actual www.thename.org website. You need to have someone who has an email that comes off of that website. It has to have a large base for it because they do an inspection. So doing a TS, I looked into it for my own guild because we're on the edge of just starting to be able to go beyond the 32 personal limit that you can get. So this is something that would not be very easy to do unless they're going to go with something that's going to be a paid system. On the other aspect, one thing nice about doing a guild list that I see, and this is just my personal opinion on it, is those guild leaders that want to add their list to it, it wouldn't take anything for them to go ahead and do it. Guild leaders that maybe are concerned about, having people having access to their main channel. One thing that I would suggest, and it's something that we've done, is you can change so many of the permissions in your TS that you can make it so that people can't just jump into a channel where you've got an ops or where you've got something else, and give your officers the permissions to be able to kick somebody out that's you don't want, and it actually can make it so that it can go really smoothly. We have several guilds that come in regularly to our TeamSpeak all the time, and it's a pleasure to have them. So for me personally, I tend to agree with that concept.
Okay, who's next, Love?
I believe it's me.
I think
yes.
it is.
Okay. I might be a little bit confused. Is this a server-wide TeamSpeak for guilds to join with all of their members that use TeamSpeak?
I think that was what was asked about, yes.
Alright, so I know that the Knights of Peace would not do that, considering we have a very large community and we are very... we really enjoy our TeamSpeak, and I don't think we would like having a large shared TeamSpeak. As far as the directory goes, I would be okay with that, as long as it's not a public thing, as long as it's just what our other GMs are signed up to and can see. That would be something that we would be okay with. And that's on behalf of our entire Nice Peace community.
Who's next?
That'd be Baratos.
Yes, I would like to start by saying that I always liked the idea of the. Let me restart. I'll start with the TS server directory. I do like the idea of it being public, not just for GMs. It's a good way for people to look around and explore. See, you see a TeamSpeak for such and such a guild. They identify themselves as a helpful leveling guild or a helpful PvP guild. All right, well, they want to jump in there, meet some people. They might even decide to join that guild. It's a good way for people who aren't as good at typing, communicating, or more verbal to try that out. And again, it's very encouraged that everybody police their own TeamSpeak servers. You have 1,001 permissions options, and if needed, I would be happy to help any GMs out there who are confused on any TeamSpeak permissions or settings to help y'all with that, so that you can have a secure TeamSpeak, and so you can feel confident that you're attracting people to exposure to your guild while still helping the community by helping people who are brand new and looking around. Now, on the server-wide TeamSpeak, the biggest thing that I saw that it was a useful thing for was that you have a place that people can be sitting in, maybe a main room where you can't speak. However, there's a PvP pop, and you have 8 people on your imp side team. It's Novara Coast, and everyone's like, okay, go into imp side room 4. So your team, whoever's there, is already in the TeamSpeak server. They don't have any chattering going on in their ears because no one can talk in the basic room, but they jump down to imp side PvP room 4, and they can coordinate for that war zone right there. You don't have to give out TS info for some random guild. No, you have the server-wide TS server right there, and I think that's a fantastic option, a fantastic tool for the community as a whole. And of course, for the security, again, I see there being no trouble for having moderators, be it GMs, PvP leaders, or other. You can always have people who look over the moderators. And the GM of Spartans put out a fantastic suggestion to use begerencolony.org as your .org to use, showing, he said, 3,000 members. I find that to be plenty. And if that can host us a free TeamSpeak for the server, I can see that being an incredible tool for the community, just to have everybody have that open access. It's just to be so useful for everyone all around. That's all I have to say.
I just posted a link with one of those votey things while we're continuing.
User in your channel is recording.
Alright.
While we're continuing.
Chion Nesu.
I just wanted to, with my guild running a lot of the GSF that's going on right now, my TeamSpeak is always open for others. So I am definitely for doing something as far as posting our TeamSpeaks for others to use. Of course, obviously, there's going to be groups, that don't want that, and I think that we should definitely respect their wishes on that. So I don't think we want to look down on those types of people for that, absolutely. But as far as posting it, I think, doing individual guilds, if they're just willing to help with the teachings and stuff, why not use their TeamSpeak? That way, it just makes things easier and we're not having to start something up. I mean, I've got several GMs that come to my TeamSpeak on a regular basis to come fly with us, and it works just fine. And like what keeps being posted is, there are so many ways to take care of issues should they pop up. So it's not really an issue. That's why I don't worry about it. If someone pops up and I don't want them in the TeamSpeak, it's a quick little click and they're done. So I definitely think that we should be a little bit more open as to using each other's TeamSpeak channel.
Can I have everyone vote now? I have 9 people voting.
It's all tied.
Can I get a clarification what the difference is between the directory and the select directory?
Select
Select
direct
option. Like
Say it.
server and directory. Is there an option for server and directory?
Let me make a new one. But okay.
Damo made the comment, can you add the option for both? And I second that.
I'm putting that in right now. Love, next person.
Aw, that was
Dioma.
adorable.
User disconnected from your channel.
Who's next?
Daimo?
Damo?
Yeah, Daimo.
She doesn't have a mic. She'll type it out. She's got what she wanted to say posted.
Okay.
Is someone gonna read it out?
I'll read it. What she's saying is, for the directory, I think it would be public and optional for putting your guild's voice chat on it. For the TeamSpeak server, it would be good for these meetings between guilds.
What's this? Yeah, like he does. Link.
The selected directory is GM shared directory. Essentially, it's not everybody.
All right, the next one is Jaded.
Jaded wrote, kind of off topic, but what about guild recruitment on the website?
There is a special spot on the website that is for that. It's the GuildNet directory. You post your guild, a little bit of information, people can sift through them. I have 17 votes out of this entire channel.
That straw poll doesn't work for me.
Should work.
Out of 42 people.
It doesn't work for me, but I like the idea of the directory.
You might have to click it a couple of times. I did too. It sometimes just doesn't do it on the first click.
I just copy paste it into the browser instead of just clicking on it.
Agreed.
Simpler.
I have 20 votes now.
Alright, hold on, I'll try again.
Sorry, I just
Who's
feel like
next?
I'm kind of coming in halfway.
Papich.
Papich here. You know, one of the things about having a server TeamSpeak is some of these maybe newer guilds. I know when I first started, we didn't have a TeamSpeak, we didn't have we didn't have any kind of voice chat, and I didn't know much about it before I started hosting it. And it might be a really good way to get people into the fold of, you know, our code of conduct and to understand what it is that we are looking for to better our server.
All right. Alron?
Sorry, there was one
Or-
person who spoke up just a second ago. It just came to this. Are you still here?
That may have been Rihanna. He's one of my GMs. He's already been back briefed though.
Okay. Next person then.
Aran with a large foam finger.
Awesome. Love the foam finger. Okay, so I just want to make very expressly clear that before anything is done about this TeamSpeak server, if it is something that we need to use the .org for, it cannot be set in stone as something we will do until a few of us get to talk to our webmaster that we're working with. So just want to make that very clear. It is the idea that we want to do, but if with the current voting we are not able to have a TeamSpeak server-wide server supported by the bc.org website, we will just have to lean back on solely the directory.
Thank you for the clarification. Okay, I have 23 votes out of 42 people.
It wouldn't work for me. So.
Alright, well, it looks like both the directory and the TS are something everyone wants to do, or the majority. We have another hand.
All right, it's Tayor from Jock.
Tor?
Yes, sorry.
When I brought up the idea from the last meeting, I might have skipped something. I was thinking that the TS could be more like a meeting place, but then, like, this is a bad analogy, but I guess picking someone from the bar or something, and he's there interested in, let's say, PvP, and if there is some sort of privacy issue with, sabotaging war zones or something like that, you could say, hey, you want to go to RTS, and there's 3 of us, and, we needed 1 more. And it would be one way to, like, not overpopulate also the TS server if there is a limit. You could just, come to our server and we're doing this, or we're doing ops and we need 2 more people. You could be just like a hangout place, and there's be rooms that you could be like PvP or ops, and you could just pick people from there. I mean, I guess it's also the same as, I guess, on raid channels too. But it'd be one way to get to know people too.
I like that.
Agreed. That's very, I don't know. I found it was a good analogy. I think it would work rather well.
Yeah, it's like, come to my place.
Okay, so we've basically established we're gonna try and get a directory together that's gonna be optional. If you are open to opening your TeamSpeak for, or Mumble, or Team, or Ventrilo, or whatever raid call, we can put that in a directory. We'll make a list for that on the bc.org. We'll make sure there's a spot for that. Did we have any more raised hands on that point?
I had one.
Shia?
Yeah, thank you.
I had mine before Shia, actually.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, as far as a server-wide TS goes, that's really giving one person a lot of power. Because at the end of the day, the owner of that TS has absolute control over it and can do quite a bit with it. So, if you had a beef, so to speak, with the owner of that TS, that's going to prevent him from letting your guild members use that if he really wanted to. Not saying the owner would be that childish. I don't know who he would be, or she. Just saying that's putting a lot of power over the server in one person's hand, or a few people's hands.
Agreed.
Power, giving someone that much power produces greed.
I totally agree with there being a directory, so, if people need to get a hold of a certain guild or want to see what they're up to, they can. I'm more than happy disclosing my TS information. But, I mean, even on your point of a neutral party, Trogus, a neutral party can be swayed. There's people out there with persuasive personalities.
Well, you guys like Des, right?
Pretty sure we all love Des.
I'd like to
Someone that you
comment on
could
that.
trust.
This
I don't
is
know.
top pitch.
Go give
I
Des
don't
a
think
hug,
we'd
everyone.
be here. I don't think we'd be
Come
here.
give Des
Okay.
a hug. Go. Give Des
I
a
think
nice hug.
we've established what we're going to do here. If there's anything that's separate, or sorry, different to add to this topic before we move on.
Yeah.
What about Shia?
Yeah. So I don't think my guild nor I really wants to be a part on a TeamSpeak list. I think that the idea of having a server-wide TeamSpeak where if I want to jump in to listen to see who's there, like the general chat, I think that's fantastic. But I don't want people jumping into my guild's TeamSpeak unannounced with people that we don't know. I think if you want to get a hold of me, you can put me down as, I'm the guild leader. You can send me an email or get a hold of me on like a raid chat channel on some of the raid chat channels that we all have. That's how I want to be get a hold of, but I don't want people just jumping into my TeamSpeak. So I don't know how to vote on your little thing because I don't think it quite specifies exactly what I'm thinking. But once again, if there's a like general chat, general raid call where anybody can go in and talk to people, like a general forum, that's fine too.
Okay. Did we have any other raised hands that are separate points to make on this, or can we move on to the next subject?
There are no raised hands, so if anyone wants to add anything.
Go ahead, Shinisu.
What about the limit for the amount of people that are allowed into your TeamSpeak channel? With a server-wide one, you're going to need a huge limit. If you just utilize the individual guild ones, you circumvent that little limit issue.
If I can address that, it's a 512 limit if you get the NPL. You get 2 servers with the NPL. So realistically, you could actually make a Republic and an Empire server with that, making it around 256 each. You would have it very comfortable, even with the huge server, because realistically, probably you'd only see 20% of the population at any given time would even be thinking to maybe go in and look at that, and they're going to be diverse in their times when they're on. So I don't think that will be a problem. Most of us, this is probably one of the bigger chats that we've seen on this server, is the one that we're doing right now as a summit.
Talon, after this, can you stay on and we can talk about how to do that? Like
Certainly.
after the summit? So I can bring that to the game master or the webmaster, whatever. Okay.
Nope.
Going to the next.
Nope. It's Baratos.
Yes.
Damn, you got shut down quick.
Damn.
Simple response to the concerns about overpopulation in TeamSpeak. You can easily put a 8-person limit to Imperial rooms any PvP room, 8-man limit. You could have a ranked room, 4-man limit, operations room, 16-man limit. Then you have like Zyos World Boss, 30-man limit or something like that. You can easily limit the rooms. Again, if anyone has questions on how to do limitations or security on their TeamSpeaks, you can come to me. I'd be happy to help you out with that.
I agree.
Anyone else?
Good.
Love?
That's all the hands I saw.
Okay. Now we can dive into other stuff. Let's see. Well, we've already talked about using the website to communicate and get. I'm getting interrupted. For Aaron. Okay, so we've talked about getting all the aspects of the game. A lot of you have been here for that, where we'll have different sections on the website for you to coordinate with other guilds, for matchmaking purposes, for getting an op together, or ranked PvP, or just regular PvP, or whatever. Even do an RP. So we'll be using the site as a hub for everything. Just want to reiterate that. Continued thing of sharing ops times and that sort of thing for the calendar. Has everyone checked out StarParse for PvE aspects that wants to do PvE?
I haven't had time, so.
What's with it?
Well, I'll post up the website for it so everyone can check that out. That was one of the topics we mentioned for a lot of the summits. Check that out. It's an amazing tool for hell. You can even use that for PvP to figure out how to better yourself. One of the things we're going to also be trying to get onto the website is a DPS, heals, and tank tracker for PvE. We're not sure how that'll be working, but we're going to be trying to work that in. Since we're on the topic of PvE right now, I'd like to open that up for discussion. PVE.
What about it? Repeat that, Des. I'm sorry.
Quick interjection on the website tools. Those leaderboards and stuff are going to be stuff that is developed over time, one by one. It is not going to be stuff that is introduced at the release of our update, so to speak.
Okay, is there any PVE issues that we need to discuss right now?
Well,
Gonna take that as.
we got
Go
the
ahead.
ops channel. We had the ops channel already figured out, and that was the only thing we had really discussed. That we only had to get discussed. So
Okay.
I think we're good. If no one's talking.
All right, let's pop over to GSF. We've already talked about the classrooms being led by warbirds and the council and all the other, with all the other guilds working on other aspects. Is there anything that the Starfighter people want to add to the discussion topics?
Well, I guess other than, preaching that we've got to play both sides that way, because I definitely see that the Imperial side is the side that needs the most help as far as GSF, just due to the pure numbers of pilots. There are a lot more Republic pilots than there are Imperial pilots, and I think as a group we need to definitely do what we can to help with that. So I will be calling on my other GSF GMs, such as Crimson and Gil maybe, and even Gabriel, if that ever happens, to start playing a little bit more imp with me and my group boys and girls, and see if we can help the imps a little bit, promoting their side a little bit.
You'll have my support when it comes if you need me to switch to imp side. I'll switch to imp side and start promoting it over there more. By no problem. That's no problem by me. I'm still new to GSF, but thanks to Jedi Council, I will say that it's quite fun. If you haven't gotten into it, my TeamSpeak is also open. I have a GSF squad. Come fly with me as well.
Sorry, I think I missed a hand from Popich.
Yeah, Pap here. So I wanted to ask, what is the policy? I discourage it within my guild, especially during events like the Gree event, where people want to get out of PvP flag by using GSF as a tool to get out, and then as soon as they get into the queue and it pops, they exit and they lose their flag. I discourage that within my guild. But I see it happening a lot, and when I'm with other guilds, they just say, well, just join GSF and then quit. We need to come to some kind of consensus to say, that this is not acceptable behavior, because that just throws the people who are playing GSF, throws them in for a loop.
Well, as a side thing to that, it's also been noted in the chat here. Doing the tutorial works to get out of that as well.
Yeah, I had no idea people were doing that, but that's because I'm actually one of the ones that are staying in the match. So, if anything happens like that, at least with my people, I would want to know.
User disconnected from your channel.
Master Gil?
So, with that, I have seen that. I've seen that a lot. When I fly with my guild or whatever by ourselves, I've seen people do that. They'll join and then they'll just leave right away, and it's left me with like not as much people as I would like. But I don't think that's a big problem. I don't think a lot of people do it. I think the only people that do it, I just don't think it's a big problem, because I haven't seen it as much. Jedi Council stated that they don't notice it. So if the big GSFers don't notice it, I don't think it's too much of a problem. I just think it's something we should keep fresh in our minds, so that if you see it happening, we can address it more. But until then, I don't think it's a huge problem. But let's just keep an eye on it and see where it goes. You know what I mean?
My guild's personal thing is if you join a match, you're in a match. You go through the whole thing. If you leave, that counts negatively on you. So that's definitely something that I'm not going to encourage. But it was
User in your channel is recording.
You can use the tutorial until BioWare finds this video. Okay, did we have any other raised hands? Okay, I guess we'll move on to the next section. The next section was PvP. We've already talked about code of conduct stuff for long enough. Came to a pretty good consensus on that. We've also talked about planning out times for doing any event and putting that up on the calendars that we'll be having up. Ranked PvP came up as an issue for the Imperial side. They wanted to make sure that people that are going into ranked PvP are actually, geared to go into there. Like we talked about earlier, you've got your massive groups that can probably handle it. But
I don't really know.
But trying to go into ranked without having the gear, if you're just doing a solo queue, is kind of disrespectful for those that are trying to actually win and get a ranking. Like to open that up for discussion. If anybody has any points to add to that.
We had several hands raised there.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so we've got Zygal first as first one that I see. So
Okay.
correct me if I'm wrong.
That's actually a good point there, Trogus. 'Cause that's exactly what I was thinking. Number one, that's no longer going to be an issue, Dez, as far as gear. With this recent update, you cannot queue for ranked without having 2018 expertise. You literally cannot even hit the button to queue. So without having at least a full set of some season PvP gear, you can't get in. What I want to say is, if to increase ranked pops, people need to be advertising using the server-wide channels when they are queuing, when their groups are queuing. Even if you're not queuing, advertise that your guild is. And on top of that, people need to not roll what I would refer to as a douchebag comp. If you're queuing for ranked with, a Sage healer, a Guardian tank, and 2 combat sentinels, no one's going to want to play against you. Queue with comps that are actually fun to play, not comps that are designed to just smash everyone. Ranked should be fun and competitive, not I'm going to take advantage of, a broken class.
All right, Gil.
So with PvP, especially ranked ones, I didn't know about that update where you have to have 218 expertise. So that was good information for me. Thank you for that, Zygo. With PvP, I find that people do a couple matches and they don't do as well as they would, or they get that one asshole in the group that sits there and bashes them the whole time. And it goes back to the part of the player's responsibility. I've already dealt with several. I've already talked to several other smaller guilds that have been PvPing recently. One of my younger levels was PvP and trying to get his gear up so he could come PvP with us. Well, throughout the whole match, he was harassed by one guild. I ended up getting talks with that GM and fixed it.
Gil, so basically we already talked about the code of conduct. So if you have something extra.
But with the ranked PvP, if you need to get your gear, roll with other people that need to get your gear. The people that already have our gear, like myself, and I can't inspect everyone here, but people that already have your gear, we might as well just go to ranked PvP, because honestly, normal PvP is no longer fun for me, because I don't die.
Can I
Crimsonis.
post a rebuttal real quick?
Wait.
Quick.
I just want to say, Gil, not everyone wants to queue up for ranked. Not everyone's into that. And sometimes I don't feel like queuing for ranked. Yes, I have a full set of gear, but myself and others would rather just queue for regulars, instead of putting together a group and playing competitively.
Okay, so I go now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not sure if we brought this up inside, not the Republic side, but inside I ended up talking about open world PvP. Just want to get most of the Republic's players' thoughts on this. Open world PvP, a lot of people have been wanting it, they've been asking for it. And you could also implement open world PvP in an RP and PvE type thing with objectives, like you're doing, for example, if you want to implement PvE, you can do raids. Raids, you got the conquest commanders, so you mix PvP with the conquest. Like, kind of hard to explain. Like when republics, let's say they're raiding the imperial base for the conquest commanders, the imps will rebel with PvP wise, while the republics have to fight the imps off as well as get the conquest commanders. Also, Shrine of Healing, bring back objectives, if the imps, they were to take we try turns every week, someone tries to take the Shrine of Healing, just stuff like that, and it can always be implemented into RP and whatever else you wanted it to be. Just want to get other people's thoughts on it.
Alright, we'll come back to that. Chinisu.
I wanted a little bit of clarification because I'm not sure if Zai was covering this or not. I know there's been times where I have queued for regular PvP and been thrown into a ranked PvP match.
That doesn't happen. That's not within the system.
Okay, so that
Ranked
doesn't
ranked
happen
pop.
anymore?
No, that never happens. You'll get into a 4v4, which that could be only 8 people that were queued at that time. They'll be matched together and it'll be a 4v4. Ranked pop actually is nice big gold letters, ranked. It'll show exactly you're in there.
Okay, because I thought it was ranked, but then again, I'm not a PvPer, so,
That actually came up at the discussion as well. We have Alvis, I believe, is the next person.
Oh yes, since PvP is entirely group finder reliant, why don't we come up with community advisement threads to provide something like a window of focus? You could build something like guild pools on veterancolony.org. Just as these windows of time that guilds are going to be trying to get people together on their end to throw into the queue. Just kind of put something together, like a bunch of threads just to spread awareness of, collective time queuing.
The 2 aspects for that we already brought up. We will be implementing a calendar with the filters for that kind of a thing. We can post up all the PvP events that are going to be happening on a specific day, and those will be able to be found. And then we have the Warzone.
User in your channel is recording.
Warzone in-game channel. Then we have...
Well, Tor and John were saying something about arenas pop when queuing for unranked.
Right, those are part of the rotation of things that go into the queue. Rixbo, I believe, is the next raised hand, if I'm not mistaken.
I allowed it. He said it at the end of his. I forget who it was that said it. So my hand's lowered.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Is there anything else PvP related that anyone wants to bring up?
Talon.
Talon.
I'm not particularly a PvP person in general, but I would definitely get into some actual open world PvP. One of the biggest things, though, that I have a concern about is it's been pretty regularly talked about where it's been, okay, let's do, Voss or something like that. I understand those are certain areas where I'm maybe more ideal, but I would really, really like to see it change up planets on a regular basis, where we would have more options, because that would change up the difficulty,
A little bit.
or would change it up so that the what I can't think of the right term here, so forgive me, but basically so that it wouldn't make it so that we just get used to the same thing and then everybody gets bored. So even being able to go out to Outlaw's Den or something like that and just bring back some of those areas as well.
Okay. I've got another point. A PvP tournament bracket style has been brought up. Are there any guilds that would be interested in being part of it or running it?
Be part of it. Origin would definitely love to be part of it and help run it if needed.
Knights of Peace would be willing to assist with running it as well.
Okay. We can come back to that and try and organize that sort of thing probably at a later time, because that's probably a very involved discussion.
Veritas has a off-topic comment, maybe.
Yes, I was waiting for a time when it was appropriate. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't butting in on a current discussion.
Okay. I think I have one more point in PvP.
Go ahead.
There was also discussed at the Imperial Summit for open world PvP, if we're going to have events like that, to try and get people that are closely geared and not just groups that are just going to stomp everybody.
I second that.
Yeah. Just as a guideline, if we were to try and make those kind of events, just to make it more fun for people.
Make sure nobody has PvP gear on.
Yeah, that's expensive fun.
User disconnected from your channel.
I mean, not everybody does PvP, but an open PvP thing would be cool. But I don't do PvP. I would participate, but that's not my thing normally. And I don't mean that just for me. I'm saying there's a lot of people that would enjoy doing that, especially if there's an RP aspect to it. But when you go in and you're used to doing PvE stuff, you don't have PvP gear, and somebody stomps the crap out of you. That takes the fun out of it.
Well,
yeah, that would be highly discouraging.
Well, that's
and
why...
also the level ranges of it.
Well, you guys gotta think though. If you're going after conquest commanders, it would be fun to have like a small PvP aspect, like some imps defending the conquest commanders that you're attacking. So PvP gear would be a good thing if you were to try an event like that.
Well, in that case, what I would recommend is have some guys who are PvP on your team, and they handle the other PvPers, because I mean the expertise or whatever doesn't work for PvE. Yeah. So if you're geared up to go take out an NPC, then your PvP gear doesn't work.
But you would still have the healers enough to, depending how big your group is, you would still be able to crush the conquest commanders even with PvP gear. All you need to do is just protect the people attacking the conquest commander. And as I said, you can add an RP with it, mix of things. It just depends how it's all going to be planned.
You can, but it doesn't take much from the other side to really swing things.
That's true, because you got, that'd be a difficult thing to do with the conquest. It'd have to be a setup event for that kind of a thing to make it fair.
No, definitely.
Yeah, because I mean,
we do have a raised hand from Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Sorry, mic was muted. As it was kind of on the subject of like having PvP, like basic, and having the making an unfair advantage and kind of ruining the aspects of it. I was believing if you have PvP gear, then use not all of it, just use a very small amount, like on your relics or like some type of gear, but not all full-fledged PvP gear, because all it gives you is a small amount of it beforehand, and it'll kind of minimize that.
So you're talking about mixing your gear to make it a little
Yes.
more even. Okay. Trogus.
Typing it out in terms of gear issues.
I'm not sure what that means.
He didn't finish his sentence. He's typing it out.
I gotcha.
Says we're going to have a PvP tournament preset what is acceptable. Set the standard and hold to it.
Yeah, the organizer of an event would have to be the ones setting those terms. And preferably people would follow those. Right. It is incredibly easy to get right now. Who was the next raised hand?
Zygle.
On the topic of gear, as far as open world PvP or a tournament style, I just want to throw out there, people earn their gear; they're not just handed their gear. So I am completely opposed to telling someone they can't wear their gear, especially with how easy it's been made. If you're going to restrict that, I say make two separate groups. Have one group for PvP geared people, one group for non-geared people. Because you wouldn't show up to an NFL game wearing soccer cleats. So why would you show up to a PvP tournament wearing PvE gear?
Agreed. I'm gonna keep mine on.
Like you could separate the planets. Like,
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem, setting up two different groups, one for PvP geared players and one for PvE geared players. That's fine by me.
Yeah, I
But
can agree to that. That's cool.
to tell me I busted my
would
ass,
be us.
to say someone busted their ass to get a full PvP set and now they can't use it because someone else didn't want to put in the work to get their gear, sorry, not for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Shy, I think you were the next person.
Vote Naga.
Shy. Same person.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna say that this entire conversation, in my opinion, is geared towards smaller guilds in general. So I don't really see a reason to go over it for the Knights of Peace, but go on.
Comment. Whether you're a big guild or not, it shouldn't be that shouldn't be brought up. This is something that is a server issue. Sure, some of our guilds here are hundreds of people, but we shouldn't exclude anyone, whether they're a 5-man guild or a 1,000-man guild. The whole point is how do we make this server great?
I agree with that, and I agree with doing these PvP things with what Zai said, doing separate things. That's great with me. As far as some of the other topics went, I suppose, I don't know, I'm kind of making an ass out of myself, and I apologize, but it's just, I would prefer having topics about the larger topics for the server, and then some of the smaller things that will help out for the smaller guilds afterward. And I still want to be involved in that with our community. We do want to help. It's getting a little bit confusing.
Crimson.
Okay. What I just want to know right here, though, like, okay, so is everyone here agreeing that we should have some open world PvP? Like, we could just start one off, like, this week if we want to? Like, just start one off, like let's say Tuesday. Would you guys be down to have a open world PvP on TAT Tuesday? Or something every weekend?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aye.
Cause we're all down to do it. We can do, like, depending how many people join in on this, we can have like 2 planets. We can use Tat and Voss, and we can see who brings in the fun.
Let's try
I'm
Wednesday.
down. I'm down to set it up. You guys are down.
Whoever's gonna run that, we'll have somebody figure that out at the end of the meeting or whatever, who will run that and start the first one off.
All right,
and,
seems good.
I believe Baratus had a off-topic comment in between topics. We're about to switch over, so.
Yes, I need support from pub side. I'm currently going through the Imperial channels for raids and operations that were provided to me by the Imperial side. Advertising / crate for the Universal raids channel, both pub and imp side, as decided by the GMs. So I have a copy and paste that I can put in the TeamSpeak. And if y'all want to deviate from that and keep the gist, whatever needs to be done, I just need some help spreading it pub side because I have 0 credibility pub side, and I also do not know the channels pub side. Mine is split up into 2 parts. Talon has a similar one. He has it in one piece. If you could post that as well, it would be helpful, Talon.
Sure.
I don't know for that. A lot of the Republic guilds are actually conforming to crate. Shredder has done a great job in getting people involved in that since he made it. So I personally don't know of any other Republic ones that are active still.
So I just wanted to spread that info that we're trying to spread the word inside, trying to get it to a universal channel, and that I'm working with Talon to get this all put together. I'll be frequently, but not spammingly, going through the raids channels I have listed and getting that info out there. The more we encourage this, I'll need support from all you imp side GMs. The more we get this out there, the more the other raiders are going to see that that's the place to go. I placed it in Ops, which is my previous go-to channel. It was called Raids, and there were a bunch of naysayers. But the more people that we get into Crate, the more people will see it as the legitimate solution. And the more we have the Impside GMs supporting it, the more that we will get the naysayers to be a part of it as well, so they can help support the community, so we can help make the server a better place.
Thank you. I copied and pasted that myself, so I can paste that whenever I see things like that. Did we have another raised hand about off topic as well? I didn't remember if I saw any. Alvis.
Well, in a follow-up to what we were saying earlier about branching out, it didn't really occur to me at the time. What if we don't want to make it a spoken, server promotion or anything, but what about as a subversive effort? We did like a BC screenshot of the week collage in the community creations part of the official forums on the official Swtor site. It's the only part of the forums where you can post pictures. And it's just a goal, one screenshot from each guild every week, just to keep it going and on like the front page and stuff.
That's a great idea. Anyone be up for helping out with that?
Can you explain that again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm confused as well.
So,
okay, so go ahead.
You can't go out and say, "Hey, come to our server," basically. But as like a subversive effort, why don't we have like a screenshot collage? Like each guild tries to submit like the best screenshot they get every week to a thread on the official forums in the community creation section, It's the only part of the official forums where players and subscribers can post pictures to the forums.
Pictures of what though?
User
Like
disconnected from your
specific
channel.
things, or
Okay, so for an example, this meeting is something that's big. This is multiple guilds put together for a large event. Like earlier, I also saw one of Zygel's guilds events that they do over on Tython. The big events that show our community is active. Hell, even doing posting up an HM op. You've done this kind of a thing, just to show our server is active and doing things. I think that's what you're trying to say, Elvis.
Yeah, just any activity where there's it's like a guild populated activity.
Okay, we've got Rixbo.
User disconnected from your channel.
So a few points, I guess. In the Imp Summit meeting, you had mentioned something similar to the picture idea, but I guess you had mentioned videos as well. That we could do.
Yeah, actually, that actually kind of we can lead into that topic.
Yeah, and then in terms of the picture, I know someone asked what kind of pictures. We could even do like weekly themes. You know, like every week people can post different theme pictures, and then we can, I guess, or something like that as an idea. And I would also be willing to help on either front as well.
Aaron, you had a add-on thing. We can actually, that's actually one of the topics I want to bring up, the video thing. We'll bring that up again. Go ahead, Aaron.
There we go. Forgot I was AFK. I was actually going to segue into introducing the video idea too. So if you're going to do that anyways, by all means, go ahead.
I will jump topics then, way down there.
You don't have to. I was going to talk about that, but if you have it planned, then I won't worry about it right now.
Yeah, I do have it planned. I want to get the RP stuff before we get into those kind of final touches.
So I'll hold it.
Did we have any other raised hands? I'm not seeing any.
Neither do I.
Okay. Leading into RP, there is some other stuff, other topic stuff after the RP, but we need to get them involved.
Oh, Zygel.
Zygel, go ahead.
You said the topic is RP?
It will be RP, yes. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm holding off that raising hand until RP starts.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I just came back from the today. I heard RP jump the gun.
As long as we're not jumping sharks, we're okay.
Before we get started, I'm going to link the minutes from the RP summit.
I was basically going to go over some of the stuff that were topics. So, Sai, if you could hold on to that question real quick. So first off, we had a RP summit on last Wednesday, and we talked about a lot of stuff to help RP. We talked about it a little bit on the Imp summit as well. Some of the major points. If you have a troll invading your RP space, just ignore them. They'll eventually leave. Bypass any drama that happens from that. Questions were raised to use in-game channels, like ham radio style things, or to keep the more out of character banter communication channels open. I personally feel like we have too many created channels already. To add more would be kind of pushing it. But that was one of the things we brought up. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that or not. Okay. We already talked about making a guild directory. In the begerencolony.org, there is a spot to advertise your guild, put some put some information about it, tell about that. Put your RPs if you have any. That is a clear tool for everyone to use. Also, they want to make... Who is that? Open mic.
Sorry.
Hey guys, keep it down.
Okay, they also wanted to make a guild directory for putting strongholds and ships to incorporate them into the RP scene. For that, it would have this stronghold by such and such person. This is the scene of this stronghold. Here's some guidelines to participate in RP. That sort of a thing. I thought that was a really cool idea. If anyone wants to talk about that, go ahead now. Raise a hand. Okay.
Could you repeat it? Actually, I didn't quite catch all of it on that last bit there.
Oh, sure. Okay, so say you have a stronghold that you want to put up to the community for use in RP. The RP community wants to make a directory for strongholds and ships and stuff with a RP guideline. This is, if you go to this place, this is the scene of the RP. Go ahead and explore, kind of a channel.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, that is part of the Stronghold directory, yes. They want to help make that a little better, though.
Basically, just taking further input.
Okay, we have a raised hand, Poppich. I think that's the first one.
So my guild is not big on RP, but I do have a few people that would like to participate as a maybe an observer. I would also like to. I've never gotten into RP, and I would be interested in seeing how it's conducted and things like that. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people that are just like that. I'm just wondering, first of all, if other guilds for their events would be open for having observers or even having some non-guild members participate in it.
That's kind of a thing that's already in place. A lot of guilds are fairly accepting of observers or even help you participate.
And on a second note, I have just purchased the Yavin Stronghold, and I would like to invite anybody who would like to use it. It is not decorated yet. I just got it. I just unlocked every room, and I will put it up for anybody.
You're looking for achievements, aren't you?
All
right.
I'm just the kind of guy that would like to share, and if anybody would like to use it, I'll put it up publicly under my name.
Poppich, there's also a lot of tools if you're interested in RP on begerencolony.org. It's been discussed a little bit earlier. It originally was mostly an RP site, or at least taken over by the RPers, and it has evolved that way. So there's tons of tools for RP. If you go to that site and look around, there's tutorials, groups that meet every week for stuff. There's plenty of things for you to do with that.
Great.
Rixpo.
Wait.
I'm missing
Aron
somebody.
has a reply.
Just basically what Des just said, the bc.org has a lot of events and stuff that they're open weekly events and whatnot. As well as anytime you see people like Jedi Order or any of those doing their public ceremonies on Tython, as long as you are not interrupting, I know that all of us are okay with you being there, doing the little side roleplay stuff, like when you emote like is very interested in what's going on or whatever. That kind of stuff is totally acceptable as long as you're not interrupting their ceremony, so to speak. And then as far as being a part of the events when you're not in a guild, we are going to be building a tool, like a contract tool basically, where you can hire people to work at events or like hire different contracting guilds to work on events with you to try to get a little bit more in-depth cross role play for people that aren't necessarily originally involved in the events. So that's a tool we're working on.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
I wasn't at the RP summit. I did go over the minutes kind of briefly, but I was wondering the idea or thoughts on not really like not freeform RP, but more like a D&D type style roleplay.
Story-based RP.
Well, not the story, but like I guess dice system kind of roleplay. Like I'm more like someone a GM that kind of coordinates the adventure, and instead of like doing cantina type RP, more like in the world, use all the different stuff that the developers actually made for us and like roleplay out in the field.
So you're talking about doing like quest RPs?
Yeah, like I mean, like back a long time ago, we used to do that in my guild, and we had one on Alderaan, like where we like raided Castle Alderaan, for example, or something like that. Or
yeah, there's actually
tons of vaults and stuff.
There's actually tools like that already on begerencolony.org. There are groups that are doing that already. We're trying to make it easier for people to find those with the site updates. So that will be coming a lot easier. Right now you can still find them. It's a little harder than it will be. Who's next, Love?
Alright, let's see, Cassandra raised hand to Aran.
User disconnected from your channel. User disconnected from your channel.
Master Gil then?
So, as far as like someone jumping into another guild's roleplay, I don't know about you, but my guild and my Imperial Sister Guild, we don't mind people coming to look. We definitely don't mind getting involved, because if you want to get involved, all you have to do is ask. We'll explain it. I'll take the time to explain it, and you can join us. Roleplay is for the fun of it. I even offer my services if your guild wants to start role-playing. I will help. I will help coordinate it. I'll build whatever background you need. The point is, roleplay is open and free. Some guilds have stricter rules, well, some guilds don't. But most of the time, role players pretty open to other people coming in, because it just adds another twist and more excitement for us.
Okay, who's the next raised hand?
Zygo?
This may be a bit off topic, but as far as increasing roleplay on the server and making roleplay easier and more realistic for those that are seriously interested in roleplay, I know it's been discussed before, but I've got a little better formula on how to do it. I would like to propose potentially putting together an RP-only Jedi and/or Dark Council, and only the guilds that agree or that would like to, join and have a representative on the council would be required to, follow the council's decisions. And I would also like to, impose a term limit as far as length of the term, so one guild is not constantly on the council, as well as having no actual leader to the council, so it's kept even and equal. But I feel like that could really help to increase roleplay on the server and increase the realism of the roleplay by having an actual council that issues could get brought to in RP for force-using guilds.
Yep.
I think that would be something to touch on again. Gil, you had a raised hand.
Oh no! I already said my piece. I thought my name got skipped over the first time.
Okay.
Ham. Linus?
I think he's typing.
Sorry,
Oh,
no,
no.
I muted my mic. Sorry, I'm gonna have to pass. I totally forgot what I was gonna say anyway.
Who's next?
That's a good question. Anybody else?
Quiet, you.
Taben.
Hey. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I just wanted to thank... Zai, were you at the RP Summit? If you don't mind me asking, I'm trying to remember handles.
I do not believe I was at the RP Summit. I'm actually pretty sure I wasn't informed. It was
No, you were working.
Okay.
Okay, no worries. Just checking. Yeah, I mean, it's a great idea. It did come up to some degree. We were talking more kind of an idea of a Senate or a government. And yeah, I appreciate you kind of phrasing it as it wouldn't be binding on others who don't want to participate. That was kind of the biggest concern that I recall from the RP Summit was that, folks might see it as being arrogant.
Correct.
I'm definitely interested. My suggestion maybe make it be a sub-council or an advisory council, maybe not the official canon Jedi Council, but someone who can make major decisions across multiple battlefields, for example, or
well, I mean, everything in this game is no longer canon due to Disney's retcon. So theoretically, we could create what we would recognize as the canon council if we felt that way. And like I said, if we only, made it apply to guilds that agreed to be under the council, rather than, walking around like some bad role players inside claiming they're the emperor or they're a dark council member. That would alleviate a lot of...
Look, everything now is a legend, a galactic legend, so go crazy.
Actually, I'm gonna point in a little subtext here for the new expansion for this game. They had to ask J.J. Abrams for permission in that storyline, so that could mean that we're part of canon still. Just put that out there.
It's only canon if whoever owns the property says it's canon, otherwise it's not.
They may have had to ask that, Des, because he's directing the new Star Wars movies and he has some rights to Star Wars. But I know when Disney took over, they announced that anything before Phantom Menace and anything EU, for the most part, other than I think the Battlefront games, has been retconned. The whole KOTOR series, all that is gone.
Basically all the Disney products and the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Who was next? I think there was another raised hand.
No. Unless someone raises it now.
Okay. Okay, let's explore Zai's idea more. Zai, go.
Oh. I didn't necessarily mean tonight, but if people want to keep talking about that, that'd be awesome too.
This is one of the major items that we brought up at the RP Summit, so it would take some time to go over. It did take some time there, and we obviously have quite a few people that weren't there to talk about, but since that is a separate game aspect, we might want to get to the full server stuff before going into that more.
Okay, that's fair. Oh, on the mentoring aspect for learning how to do RP, there was someone at the Impside Summit that offered to help anyone who wants to learn any of that. So a good contact, I'm going to put her name up. You can contact that person on begerencolony.org, and they will help you with anything RP that you want to learn. Also, RN earlier had brought up a mercenary contract boards and stuff like that. So for those RP events that you have, you could contract a guild to come over, like guard your event, or however you want to put into an RP thing. Since that, so a contract board would be more of a neutral guild type of thing to be listed up there, and guilds could come in and contract them.
I have a quick question. Kaben, are you Imp or Republic?
Imperial.
I'm Republic.
He's Republic.
Primarily.
And Republic.
Okay, well, alright, you've got the floor then.
Okay. I just want to give a quick note for anybody interested, and also want to let Zuhara know if he's here. One of our very active members on BC.org was actually about to start a thread trying to prompt some more energy around contracts and how to plan that out. So if anybody's interested, keep an eye out there for it. She's going, and that could happen very soon if she are agreeable. But mostly it's going to be an out of character discussion first, just to figure out what people are looking for.
Okay, another part was talked about having more coordinated conflict events. This kind of ties into the PvP thing with the open world part of that, but more scripted for dynamic story building. Obviously, everyone involved with that, the guilds involved with that, would have to agree to joining into that storyline. We have a raised hand?
Yes, Crims.
Okay, so basically, wouldn't that the RP-ish those like the RP events would be under the RP category on the website?
Yes, they would.
Okay, just want to know.
User disconnected from your channel.
I think that is actually, we covered a lot of stuff with the off point discussion for RP. So, anything else anyone wants to add for RP before we switch topics?
I might have a brief clarification if it's needed.
Go ahead.
It was it didn't get into too much depth in the RP meeting, but I have the name of the person who wanted to be a contact for that. My main sense was he's kind of talking about wanting to have more epic. Could be a battlefield, a large thing, or it could also be a small focus plot like a ship crew against the galaxy, but it would be a much longer story that would be everybody who participates could kind of be on like almost like a
User in your channel
kind of
timed
echoes
out.
some of the D&D ideas folks had. But I don't. I'll post his name in a second in the chat when I can find it.
Okay, we have another raised hand. Mortarian?
Yep, that's me. I don't know if this has been raised before, and I just wanted to double check that the idea of having different guilds role playing together, I think, is fantastic and will build a real community. But I think before you don't put the wagon before the donkey. One thing people would have to talk about is the intricacies of making it work. For instance, Knights of Peace and Risen have a role-play system for dice rolls, and that would be something that would have to be addressed before that could take place, so there's no confusion. Because I've run LARP events for role-playing with 50, 60 people, and so having that many people with questions and that, it can get a bit much. So that's just from my experience, something that can be an issue.
All right.
Yeah, just people coming from different areas having, well, we do this at home. You're like, huh, what?
Well, yeah, if you're going to have a multi-guild RP event, you're going to have to talk over the rules and the terms of engagement and all those sorts of things.
Yeah. Just so, like, am I rolling a D10 to hit you, or D100? Am I doing paper, rock, scissors? Can I stab you in the face by just saying hello? It's... I would love to do that to you, Des, just to be clear.
Oh yeah, I see how it is.
Alright, but that's just...
User in your
just something I
channel
wanted to
is
bring up.
recording.
All right, Caben had a hand.
Yeah, I was gonna say the way we've worked it on BC.org already has many guilds. It's basically just up to the GM who's running a given plot. Obviously, for longer plots, lots of existing systems might get tricky, but I don't see it as being that complicated. It'd be kind of like people getting together in real life and deciding which edition of the game to use. I would suggest if other guilds have systems, that we add them to the FAQ section of BC.org. To the article section, so everyone can see everybody's systems. That way, GMs have resources and can have a common reference to understand what we've been doing, strengths and pros and cons. The one we use is very customizable. Look,
User
here's the
entered
base
your
system,
channel.
and here's a bunch of abilities you can add on, but don't go crazy unless you want to. Got like a fate point thing you can do. It's very much pick and choose what you want for your story. Respect each other's preferences.
Okay, I had another hand from Henius.
Yeah. So to that, just before you start the event, the RP event, just say, okay, these are the rules we're using. Or if it's truly coordinated, then you can post it on the bc.org or something and say, okay, this is what we're doing. Like our guild, we use the base 100 system, which I got off the bc.org site. So, it's pretty simple way to go, I think. There you go.
You got another hand.
Just as an addendum to that, if you wanted to make something absolutely easy, because we all have our different roles, D10s, D33s, or whatever. If we wanted to have everyone has their own system, but when you come together for multi-guild roleplay, there is a standard system that, regardless of where you come from, this is what we use for these particular roleplay events. That way, yes, you can roll your D69s or whatever that you're rolling, but when you come to play a mixed game, everyone's using a universal system that's easy, simple, agreed upon by people that are putting into this by the guilds, so that you can avoid the confusion of, but I roll a D12. It just simplifies everything, because especially in large groups, you want everything simple. Because the more complicated you make something, the longer the learning curve. And if you've got 50, 60 people rolling at the same time, you're like, well, I lost everyone's rolls because there's like 100 spams. You've got to have a strong system in place to be able to handle large groups so people don't feel lost, especially new players. And I think this needs to be something that GMs realize. New players who have very little experience in roleplay, if they get into a big group event of even 10, 15 people, can get so lost because they're like, what's this role mean? What am I doing? And they freak out, and then we lose them just like that. And I think an emphasis needs to be placed on training, especially for new people, to make sure that the roleplay events don't become something new people dread. Because I've seen it happen before.
Okay, we got Caben as a hand.
Really great points on Matari, and I pretty much agree with you. My suggestion too would be which we already do informally, but maybe if we're really recruiting people, plan it clearly to have a range of, this is a dice RP event, this is a more casual freeform RP event, so beginners know that, they could try any of them. They don't have to do one form of RP or feel, overwhelmed if it's not something that they're into. Dice can be a little intimidating from the start, so I would really strongly encourage us to have a variety of RP off the bat.
Very much
Besides
agree.
that,
You could have beginning classes where you don't have to roll. It's just writing between each other to get you into the mindset of, well, there's a sword coming at your head. Don't use your hand. It's about picturing yourself in that space, and then from there you can build. You can add the dice in. But I think that's a very good point, Caden.
And some basic code of conduct too, you know, writing reactions for somebody else. Like I attack you, I don't say if you die or not. You know, which simple things you could put for kind of a beginner's class so people feel safe when they're working together.
Yes,
I'm done. Sorry.
totally agree.
Gil had a raised hand.
Yes. So I'm I'm the one of the GMs is not here today. Crusaders of the Force leader Sandrine's not here. I'm to text with her and I'm updating her about this event. Her big thing is her big thing is she's not on very often, but we are all posting all this on the forums. Correct? This is all going on the website.
Yes.
Okay. That's all her question was.
Okay. We explored that quite a bit.
I'd just like to say, if you don't want to be part of this meeting, can you just leave? If you want to go PvP, go PvP.
All right.
Some of us that are dueling are paying attention. So maybe
I'm paying
curb your
attention, don't
attitude a
worry.
little bit.
I think they're just multitasking while we're listening.
I'm sorry, I'll stop.
The reason I haven't mentioned anything about it is because they're keeping it outside the circle, trying to not be disruptive as far as I can tell. So other topics that we're going to bring up here. We talked about the open world stuff. Okay, we talked about the open world stuff, getting massive battles going. That was one of the topics we had. Promotional videos. That's actually second to last topic here. Who has technical skills for video production to make promotional videos for our server? Keep Summit chat clear unless you have that potential. I'd like to see who here actually has those skills, credentials, whatever, to make that happen. If anyone.
I have the program. I'm not the greatest at it, but I have the programs for it.
We just need to become one person.
It's funny you actually mentioned it. One of my members just kind of posted a haha video for our guild in GSF. It's kind of a promotional.
I mean, I record like various op fights or make
Tian
music
Fei
videos
is
and
the
stuff
one
like that.
that brought it up at the RP meeting. She does all the videos for any of the ceremonies that the Legion of the Jedi do.
Just whispered her. Oh, she is here too.
Yeah.
Okay, so the idea that was brought up for the promotional videos was, say, a 10 to 15 second little excerpt of the different playstyles that we use. Take like an RP event, get a little capture of something epic with that. Going through a hard mode boss in ops or something. A massive PvP match, or even one of our open world ones that we're going to be setting up for the next week. To get some video capture of that, edit it out as our server's active. This is what we do. Any thoughts on this kind of thing? I'll open the floor now.
I'll go ahead and throw my hand in.
Okay, go ahead.
Anybody that is interested in helping with this, if you could contact me to speak about this stuff more in depth afterwards, once we figure out who's actually interested, that'd be great, because I'm one of the ones that's the primary design team for the new website, so it'd be nice to kind of have a little teamwork in getting that stuff put together, just so we can keep track of it better.
Should we contact you in game or on the website or?
All the above. Any of them will work. I will give you contact information if you're interested. Just go ahead and poke me if you're interested.
Do we have any ideas, aside from what's already been listed, for bringing the word out for our server? You know, whether it be ideas for videos, other media. I know we've got a Facebook campaign going on right now.
Where is the Facebook?
Shinizu?
Let me hold. No, I'll grab a link for it.
He's one of the main people that does that one. So we have a raised hand, Poppage.
I just wanted to comment. I do see a couple of people with Overwolf. That's a great free video recording utility, and sometimes it's great to when you're editing a video of some type, is taking it from different perspectives. So if you could had several people recording a single event, and the person who is collaborating to create this video can pick and choose different POVs, I think that would make really a spectacular and epic kind of video.
The next hand I see is Mortarian. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, Mortarian, that's right. Just to follow up on that, I think it not only multiple perspective but multiple classes. Then it can be educational if you do the say in an op. Then you get to see the healer perspective of Underworker, which is very different from the DPS and such. If you could get that from different perspectives, it can. Then we can say, look, not only is our server active, but look, here's how you learn how to tank that fight. And as we get people through it, we can then take them through, they can experience it for themselves, and it's word of mouth. It really is word of mouth when it comes to especially ops, is, hey, these guys are really good at what they do. If you see them advertising, sign up. And that's how you really build the community, is by inclusion, really.
I agree completely. Do you have anything to add for our media campaigns to get people to the server?
There's your Facebook page right there.
There's the Facebook.
It was actually started by Oz of Second Mass. Now it's got it's got myself helping out and an Imperial editor as well.
Just once again, if anybody is interested in the promotional stuff, the videos, please poke me here before you leave so I can get some contact with you.
Chinisu, you said we also had a Twitter feed as well?
I've been using my personal Twitter feed for it,
okay,
mainly, more than anything, but we could definitely start something. It wouldn't be much.
I don't know, I feel like as many aspects as we can get media formats be a little better.
I'll help with the Twitter.
Okay, if there's nothing else about promoting the server, I can go into closing. Raise your hand now if you have something to say. Rixbo.
I'll say this for closing, but throughout this whole meeting, we've mentioned a lot of ideas and stuff to put on the website. I feel kind of bad that we're like putting all this on the webmasters of the site. Are we setting something up to like help them so they don't go crazy? since we gave them like 17 projects to do.
Well, it's all part of the upgrade format. Everything they're adding to it, we've already talked about, and we're helping them with. Does that answer your question, Rispo?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we were not like overloading them. That's all.
We're trying to be as supportive as we can for them.
Yeah, I think we're overloading Aron, if anybody.
All right, Talon.
As I mentioned to Des, if anybody's needing some help with something, let me know. Like if you need people in one of your videos that you're trying to make, you don't have enough people to do. Because one of the thoughts I had was maybe like an RP video, actually putting the role play with one's kind of writing out a script for it. And so if you guys need assistance with that, please feel free to give me a contact on that. If you need to know my pub side, it's Darteris, Darteris. I'll post it here in a minute in the TS. But I'm more than happy to, work with you guys on that, to be a body and even a voice if you need it. And then the other thing I was kind of just wondering about, and I don't know if maybe I'm just forgetting it was already touched on, but when it comes to trying to list our guilds, I listed mine a little while ago, but haven't seen anything. Is there anything additional that we need to do, like in our sign up process of things that people want? Do we want to be putting in, our websites to come check us out or things like that?
Absolutely, I would put my website on there. Even the TeamSpeak, if you want to get people to come visit you, that's an option. We're also going to be trying to implement some guild tools. We're still in the process of talking over how those will work, but that'll be in the further development of this upgrade.
Okay.
Baratus, you had a raised hand.
Yes, I just wanted to speak on behalf of anyone who agrees with me. Just that, thank you, Des Revis, for putting this together. I know we thanked you before, but it's worth thanking you again. You putting this together. You have a vision. You predict what everyone else is thinking, and we don't want to have a server merge. You went ahead and, with that foresight, you enacted by putting this all together. You're doing everything in your power to keep this server independent, on its own, and strong, fun, and just a great place for everyone to be. So, for anyone who agrees with me, I just want to say thank you.
Yep, here, here.
Here, here.
Great.
And to the GMs that are all here, your guild is your guild. I suggest you just have fun taking it the direction you take it. I just hope that you take in mind everything that was mentioned in terms of your conduct and how you hold yourself, but in the end, it's up to how you take it.
Well, thank you.
That's getting all the love.
Man.
Nom, 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 love everywhere.
Zygo, you had a raised hand.
Yes. I just wanted to say we have a ton of power in this room right now. A lot of ability to change things. I know we've got the GMs from Jedi Order in here. We've got, obviously, my community in here. Revis is in here. Jedi Council's in here. All of the large guilds from the server that are staying and are actually, care about the server are in here. So, I'd just like to see more cooperation between guilds and more effort to actually fixing the guild Good Duel Gilgamesh. As opposed to the infighting and problems that we have on the server, making things work together and, the larger guilds helping the smaller guilds as opposed to just, well, you guys should all merge or something like that. Just my 2 cents. Thank you guys all for coming.
Agreed.
Yeah, that was the stance. That was the stance that I came up with when I wanted to start this. Is I wanted every guild that wanted to be part of this to join in, large or small, without fear of having to merge or join anyone else. That was one of the things that I was thinking about with this. Auron, you had the next one.
Nope, chopped off my hand like Luke Skywalker. I'm done.
Okay, Caven.
Yeah, I was just posting the link of. I originally created it for the RP summit, but the last few people have been using the thread that I just posted as a little template with contact, website, links to any direct things about the guild they want us to see. So I would encourage any guild, BPRP, ops to use that for now and make a guild net. I don't know what else you guys have planned. I know there's a lot of stuff on, but yeah, for us, just getting as many contact links and people out there in the same thread would be awesome.
Are we still using the old website that we were planning for that until the new one is up, or?
Using as much as we can, begerencolony.org.
The old website that you're talking about, Chyon, I only use to share concept images, but I don't even use it for that anymore. So basically, it's obsolete and should be deleted at this point.
All right, will do.
I almost wonder if we could make like a Summit subforum to make it easier for people to find stuff in the short term, but I don't know how hard that would be program-wise.
Very easy. It's just a matter of having the time to do it with the current load that we have on the webmaster.
Of course. I've been tagging all my threads with apps so you guys can find them easier. If you...
Crimsonus, you had a raised hand.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I just like to thank Des for doing all this. I've been in all three, except for the RP one, and they've all been good so far. And I just want to know if we should take that group picture before more people leave.
Agreed. You probably should.
I got one last thing to say, and then I can get that group picture in.
All right.
If we can have multiple people do the group picture, because I'm having trouble getting my pictures onto the net. I'm really horrible with that. So, okay. So finally, there's been some concern that we might give up and not accomplish anything. I think we can pretty much throw that out the window. Pretty much everyone here that's has been to multiple summits, had a lot of input, and has been showing that they're in here for the long haul. And I really believe that you all are. I ask that all the guilds that have chosen to put your voice program in the directory add a channel called BC Embassy. That'll be the place where you direct new people to visit your TeamSpeak, or to even call up, hey, I have something to talk to you about. That way it's not interfering with your regular guild's channels, and you can set permissions really easily, so that they can only go to the few channels. So BC Embassy is what I'm going to be changing this channel to, or I might even call it Revis Embassy. Something with embassy in it, so people know where to go. Especially if they need to talk to you out of game or plan events with you. It'd be another aspect of communication
User disconnected from your channel
that you can bring together. We can also hold meetings in those channels as we need to. And I'd actually like to thank everyone here joining in this collaboration on behalf of Begeren Colony. Really warms my heart. And I'd also
get it.
I'm also like to thank everyone that's helped me plan these and get these together. My whole support team that's stuck with us, Crimsonus especially, for recording most of the events. Thank you guys. Let's give a thank you for them.
Yeah! Banana bus!
Banana bus.
Yes!
Oh shit.
If no one knows what that is, I do a random thing called Badoo Banana Bus.
Oh god damn it.
It kind of I got another person, I got Aaron into it.
Damn it, I forgot all about that.
I apologize now if anybody is weirded out, but I like spewing out random things. I'm not gonna do it because obviously I think Aaron or whoever did it has it down. So
alright, let's get this group picked together. Alright.
Where are we lining up?
I got a little format here. So let's use these lines as the battle engagement lines. Everyone come over here to the open space.
Open spaces.
Republic stays on this line. Imperials go to this line.
I like this.
Or we'll say this line. This line right here, sorry.
If you have a
Imperials.
body structure, can you stay in back? Because
All
Crimzonis,
Imperials.
you are a
Hey,
fat
hey.
boy.
Hold on. Alright, so.
Holy
this is
shit,
how
you
we're
guys
gonna
are
set
short.
up. We have all Marauders and Sentinels are going to be in front of the line, so they're going to be on the front area of the line. Next, you're going to have your support, say Commandos and Vanguards, right behind them or beside them, as you can match up. You can also have Shadows
User disconnected from your channel.
in that support line. Behind is going to be the sorcerers and sages and smuggler types, or agent types, as they are the support classes. And Crimzonis, what are you doing?
I have no clue where I'm supposed to stand.
You're on the front line, Mr. Guardian.
Alright, there we go.
I'm trying to log in.
Why'd you log out?
Big body boy, what the hell? Why are you like 3 times bigger than everyone on the line?
Don't blame me. Blame the game, okay?
You're the one that made yourself fat.
Alright, let's move the back line to
Sorry.
User
the edge
disconnected
line
from
right
your
here, if you
channel.
see what line I'm on.
See, I'm a god.
If we could get the imps to get their front line to match up exactly on the front of that line. Right here.
I'll kneel for you guys. See?
The front line's going to be on this line right here.
Holy crap, I'm as tall as someone standing up. Is that bad?
It's the helmet.
I know.
And of course,
I'm trying to get a good angle for my picture.
User disconnected from your channel.
Don't forget to.
Do we have everybody here?
Almost.
I'm still trying to load, but I don't want to hold you guys up. I could probably make it in about a minute.
Chio's fashionably late.
You could all brandish your weapons.
I'll kneel, because I'm kind of tall.
For my character,
Well, if you're on the end, you'll be fine.
Cool.
For you guys.
I'm getting a back picture.
I feel like if someone stumbled on this right now, they would think, oh,
Gil, you're cutting out a bit.
it's about to happen. Woo, my bad. Oh, there we go, I'm back.
Yeah, I'd hate to be an innocent bystander walk into this group. They're like, oh crap, there's a war fixing to break out.
Who's gonna win?
So bad. DMs, they're better geared. I don't know. I think I'm pretty good geared right now,
Let's
PvP
go.
wise.
Let's bring this to the den.
The pub side has cycle.
I mean, if me, Zygle, Crimzonis, and I believe where are you at?
Chio, you're in the front line.
Sure.
And yeah, there we go. Me, Zygle, Crimzonis.
User disconnected from your channel.
Yeah. Who said the imps are better geared?
You know what? We don't need the PvPers. Got cookies.
Okay, guys, I have brownies. Beat it.
Well, I have
User in your channel
burritos
is
and banana
recording.
buses.
What are
you
you
doing?
on the same team, Gil? Okay.
Will
God.
the Marauder with the purple sabers go to the left-hand side? Thank you.
Everyone without a helmet, you'll need to put on /outraged. Want to see you screaming. You
That's
look
what
evil.
she said.
All right, now I need to turn back on faceplates or nameplates for a second.
On a scale of 1 to badass, it's pretty badass.
Cue the Force Quake.
I'm especially enjoying the full yellow Sith Juggernaut. I will have to say, I thought you were another Ninja Turtle. Just thought I'd let you.
Oh, we're kind of...
And as far as the Twi'lek, in the 70s outfit, I applaud you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say yeah.
And
kind
the
of
power
embarrassing.
tech wearing the mummy outfit, I applaud you as well. You should have been the star in The Mummy Returns.
Okay, Gil, are you gonna compliment us soon?
Yeah. All the force users on my side, take a knee and look at the mummy, and then realize we are outmatched because he's a mummy. He can't die. So that's like us fighting a. I don't know what's immortal. What's
Did
extremely
everyone get
immortal?
their pictures out?
I was
Everyone
just
got
waiting
their
for your
pics?
guys's.
Okay. Did everyone get the pictures that they were going to be making?
I take
Yep.
the silence.
Just a second.
Okay.
I got a mental image. I know exactly.
Right.
I will always remember this. The day the pubs beat the imps.
Oh,
Well,
This is
I'm
only
gonna
a.
put this out there.
This is
Just
only
gonna
a
put this out.
prequel. This is only the prequel of the open PvP. This is exactly what it's gonna look like.
And
Folks,
the pubs
give
are
me
gonna
like
win.
15, yeah. Folks, give me like 15 more seconds. I'm almost there.
Let me know.
Pubs are gonna
Oh.
win, hands down.
I'm gonna make everyone clap.
Look at the front line. Tell me this front line is not fierce right now.
Come on. I'm kneeling down. I'm the same height as half the people in the line.
Come on.
Come on.
Type 3 body.
Guys, Jolovy is right. We can make a roleplay plot right out of this right now. 2 opposing sides, and we've got a lot of people here right now.
Go for it.
Okay, so
Jolovy, make it start.
all Gil. What do you mean all Gil? Oh, you said good luck. Okay.
Give us a concept to work with.
I can maybe give a concept. So say the summit meeting went well, but the tensions between the Republic and the Imperials have reached a point to where we're in this standoff that one side is saying this, the other side is saying that. There's no fixing it. So why don't this be like the prelude to, like I said, like they were saying, open world PvP? Every guild here looks like they would enjoy having fun. And no, let's not fight right here. First off, we don't want to scare any new person that walks on the Nar Shaddaa and sees this and goes, "Oh my fucking god!"
The computer
why?
dies from all this stuff happening.
Could you imagine being a fresh level like 20 something just getting here, be like, "Yeah, I'm a badass," and then seeing us and going, "Never mind, never mind. I'm nowhere near. Nope, I can't do it."
You'll be like, this is the coolest planet ever. This is open world PvP
The
going on
Empire
right
will
now.
hunt you down.
On a place protected by the Huts, no less.
Okay. Or right now we can call all our guild mates. We have a party on our Shaddaa, and we just break out in total war. Everyone gets drunk, and we just go
Or
all
we
out
could
at
just
it.
all do no bones. Does everyone have no bones?
No.
Oh,
Alright, what
damn it.
what instance are we at?
Number 2.
Second one.
Yes.
Number 2?
If we were
Number
going to do a war, we need to take it to the Outlaws Den.
Yes, there's 3 no bones. I know you guys
Well,
have it.
yeah, here's the thing. We're like the only people in the second instance right now, so.
Come on. Yes, I see an Imperial doing the no bones. Do the no bones. No bones.
Oh, damn it.
Okay, you know what? I don't have the no bones, but I'm gonna do my own personal dance. It's called traditional. It's not gay.
Twi'lek dance?
John, get your tank there. I'm kind of my face is kind of in the cannon. It's uncomfortable. Really
Get your Rancor
uncomfortable.
off me. I can feel its nuts on my face.
Rancor battle!
There we
Walkers.
Everyone's in
go. I hate you all
Everyone's
for
in
having
front of the
Rancors.
hut, right?
Fuck you. I want a Rancor.
I feel bad for the janitor. You have confetti, Rancor.
A Rancor is smashing this tank to pieces.
Don't care. Ice drop.
Oh, also, I'd like to thank Baratus for getting the imp side together over there. Thank you.
Okay,
Happy to
so
help anywhere we can.
I have something. If this whole roleplay storyline, I'm good at creating roleplay stories. Don't get me wrong, but I would love it if 1 or 2 other GMs and 3 GMs from the imp side would help me create this, because it takes more than just one mind to come up with something this massive.
You're talking about right now? Or
I'll more than gladly lead the forefront on creating the roleplay backstory behind this, but I just want help from, Republic GMs and Imperial GMs. If you've never roleplayed before, please just let me know, and I can teach you right on the spot. It's easy.
Really? Come on.
Are you talking about tonight? Because I have some heavy Tatooine world building I've been doing. I'd be happy to throw some ideas out there.
I'm more than talking about tonight, because we have a standoff. We had a standoff between Republic. Now here's the thing, though. Not all guilds are Republic aligned. The Origin does not support the Republic in any way, shape, or form. We just live in their space.
User disconnected from your channel.
Screw you.
So
make me cry.
if someone wants to do this, please let me know, and I'll put my TeamSpeak information in the Guild Summit tab.
I think we're probably good with the recording for this.
Yeah. I'll end it in.
I'll jump for the battle. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be awake long enough to really help him properly.
You know what?
For
I'll
future
flag if
things.
everyone else flags, just for fucks and giggles.
We can't fly here.
Oh, we can't.
Talon, we need a
User
third
disconnected
submersible.
from your channel.
I want a picture of a third submersible in this.
Okay, does this count?